Hello and welcome. This is your host, Coach Kamrul Hasan from Bangladesh. We are just beginning a new chapter from today, and it's a new day with a brand new program called Bangladesh Leadership Success Seminar. And it is a success seminar. There are so many reasons for that. I think you would know very shortly. And this is the program organized by jointly CKH Network and ITT World of Malaysia. And of course, our strategic partners, our very own, the country's flagship organization, BOLD, Bangladesh Organizations for Learning and Development, and the pioneer organizations for learning and development, future leaders, Sensei, and of course, Jump Movement Asia. So together, we are beginning a new chapter through introducing Bangladesh Leadership Success Seminar. And I'm really happy and I'm pleased to introduce with you the President and CEO of ITD World, Dr. Peter Chee, who is also the world's number one strategic innovation coach. So it is my immense pleasure to introduce for all of you Dr. Peter Chee, the President and CEO of ITD World, Malaysia. Hello, Dr. Peter Chee. How are you?
Good evening. I'm super well. I'm really excited to be here with all of you. Thank you so much, Coach Kamrul.
Thank you. We are really glad to have you here with us. This is just a new beginning. And also let me introduce our other panel members, the distinguished guests joining from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka, and also from Netherlands as well. And I take the privilege to introduce first the founder president of Bold and the CEO and founder of Future Leader. I think he's the veteran in our country. In many ways, he's the mentor, he's the pathfinder, he is showing the path, and he has paved the path as well for training and development, leaving his profession in the early 2000, and before that, it was not easy. I mean, the way we can think of right now to look for this profession and to follow his path. So it is my immense pleasure to introduce our mentor, the founder of Bold, Mr. Kaji M. Ahmed. Kaji bhai, assalamu alaikum and shagotam apnake. Kaji bhai, apnake shunte pacchi na, unfortunately. Right.
Sorry, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate your kind, generous introduction. Thank you.
You deserve it. You deserve it. That's why
this is unbelievable. Thank you.
That is the reality, and we must respect our senior leaders and those who has created this industry and the foundations. So let me also introduce, I think one of the most respected person in our country's human resources industry, the humbleness and the kind of experience he carries himself, yet he's so humble. And that is his signature, I think his signature, characteristics of his career. He's having more than about 30 years of experience. He's leading one of the largest conglomerate of a country called Citigroup. And before that, he is having different dimensional career. So let me introduce Shabbir Ali, who is also the founder president for HR Club Bangladesh, the only human resources club in Bangladesh. Shabbir Ali bhai, আপনাকে স্বাগতম Bangladesh Leadership Success Seminar. We are glad to have you.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. And we are also excited to have Dr. Peter Chee and Kazi bhai and Ineke with all the and Ranjan D Silva. I guess this will be a very exciting evening, and let us see how we are going to enjoy this evening. Thank you.
Absolutely. So we're also really excited because this is a new thing, new chapter, and we are introducing coaching. We are inviting a lot of guests. Definitely, first we're beginning with the keynotes, Dr. Peter Chee. So before that, we have another two guests. So if you think that we don't have anybody, no, it's not the fact. We have another two guests, and I think two of them you also know. I think by now you know. If not, so it is one of your very own, Ineke Hoekmans from Netherlands. I think it is so the lady, the woman who came into Bangladesh and also won the millions of people's heart, I would say. And through his love, through his, the way the way she connects, the way she talks, the way she really embraces the culture, the people, the youths and professionals, because we have done something together in the month of February, 10 days. So it is my immense pleasure to introduce, I call my sister, my friend, and a lot of things she has introduction, but Ineke Hookmans as a name is good enough. Ineke, welcome to Bangladesh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kamrul. Salam alaikum, all my dear friends in Bangladesh and all over the world. I'm really excited to be here, and this is actually the big kickoff for a very cool week that we are getting ahead of. So I'm very, very privileged to be here too. So let's have a good time, okay?
Thank you so much, Ineke. So now I think we have with us Ranjan, whom you know last 20 years was doing, who is here in Bangladesh. It is a second home for Ranjan. I think majority of his time, Ranjan actually stayed in Bangladesh and that of Sri Lanka since 2001. So he is here with us, and I'm proud to introduce also Ranjan with this Bangladesh Leadership Success Seminar. Ranjan De Silva, I think one of Asia's leading CEO success coach. If I can introduce Ranjan De Silva today from Sri Lanka.
Hi everyone. Good to see all of you. Fantastic to be here. Really looking forward to a great evening together. Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. So Bangladesh to Malaysia to Sri Lanka to where?
Netherlands.
So right, Netherlands. So and all of those are watching right now, welcome everyone. I think you're going to enjoy the session. I think the dignitaries, the guests, as you see, right? Everyone is actually having 25 years of experience in each of them in their areas, at home and abroad, all over the world. So you can count like it's I think all together here, I think it's all about 150 years of experience of leadership development, coaching, training, building organizations, culture, values, and building hundreds of organizations. If we can see it, right? Kaji Bhai to and Shabbir Ali Bhai to Ineke Hookmans to Ranjan De Silva. I think all of you have helped at least several hundred organizations in Bangladesh and all over the world. And of course, today we are excited to have the president and founder IT World from Malaysia, who is actually the co-author with so many dignitaries, so many authors, including Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, who is the #1 coach from all over the world, and who is the mentoring, the coaching industry. As you see, that we want to introduce a coaching culture in Bangladesh. What coaching really is? Is it like is it the coach, who actually does the thing behind football study? I mean, behind when player plays football or playing cricket, or is it coaching is something like when we see our kids going to the school, right? Coaching. So what really coaching is? So today we want to actually experience, we want to see what coaching is, how coaching works, how coaching can help us from where we are to where we want to go, how coaching can bring the dream, desire, the passion, purpose from within to the outside world. And with this, I think I must not say anything more because Dr. Peters is really excited. He is actually jogging. He's actually standing. He's actually we should not help him. What do you think? So I want to invite all of our Facebook audience. So if you can welcome our guest, say hello to Dr. Peter Chee, who is new to our country, who is new to this to this Bangladesh. So if you say hello to Dr. Peter Chee, everyone, can I have can I have everyone saying hello to Dr. Peter Chee on the Facebook?
I can see you. Say hello. I can see you. See? I can see you. Wow, look at that. Woo!
So with this, I'm going to Dr. Peter Chee. So Dr. Peter Chee, so next 45 minutes, the space is yours. So we are expecting that you are going to jump around and you're going to show your muscle also for the coaching and how to actually help people to build the coaching muscle as well as you did over the past 20 years. Over to you, Dr. Peter Chee.
Thank you very much, Coach Kamrul, and all the distinguished speakers here today, very well-known people from all over the world and Bangladesh. It's an honor for me to be here with all of you today. I'm really super excited to add maximum value to you. I've got 45 minutes and it's going to be fast-paced. I am a tiger. It's going to be quick. Take a pen and a piece of paper, take a note down of what you learned, and I'm going to give out some prizes today. It's going to be exciting. All right, say hello and type on a comment on Facebook or YouTube. Say hello, and if you're ready, just tell me, I am ready. Are you ready to start? Say, I am ready. Type on in the comments, I'm ready. I'm really excited.
I'm ready.
Of course, I am ready.
I see so many people. I see so many people on Facebook. Wow, Eric, Ashraf, Sabah, thank you. Welcome. I can see you. I can see your comments. If you have questions, you can type your questions in the comments on the Facebook, and I will answer your questions later. I'll come back and I'll answer all your questions. If you learn something good, you put it in. If I find some good point that you learned, I'm going to give you a prize. You're going to get a book. I'll send you a book. It's going to be exciting. I want you to participate. I'm really excited to share with you. Are you excited to learn? If you're excited to learn, type in the chat box, in the comments, say, I am excited. Type in, show me that you're excited. Say, I'm excited. Say, I'm excited. Type in the comments, I'm excited. Share. Get your friends to come in and learn together. You're going to have maximum benefit out of it. Thousands of people in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, all over the world learn about this. Coaching to unleash unlimited potential. Coaching for exponential growth. All right, everyone, if you're ready, type in the chat box, I'm ready. If you have a question, type in a question. Okay, so I'm going to share on my screen right now. Very good. Okay. So, Coach Kamrul, can you allow me to share my screen, please?
Please, yeah.
Yes.
I think you are there already. Perfect.
Okay, I'm there already, but I don't see it. So let me stop it and I will do it again. Okay, I'm going to share the screen again. Yes. Okay. Right. Very good. Welcome, everyone. And in today's session, this is what we're going to do, all right? In today's session, I'm going to share with you best practices. I'm going to give you some tools and techniques, all right? And this is going to help you to apply coaching for exponential growth. Now, we're all in this situation, in this world together. All of us are in this together. We are facing very challenging times, yeah? Pandemic times, economic challenges, and all challenges facing us today. So how do we apply coaching to get back to exponential growth, to rise to exponential growth? That's my key focus for today. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick overview of my session here today. So here it is. There's going to be coaching definition. I'm going to share with you a model and technique in coaching. Yes. I've just changed my slides. It will show up on your Facebook, okay? So it might be a delay of a couple of seconds. So can you just check if you see it there? Let me check a look here. Okay, good. It's already there. Fantastic. So I guess you might have a couple of seconds delay on Facebook, which is fine. Good. Okay. Now, so first of all, I'm going to give you a solid foundation. I'm going to tell you what really coaching is. So not everyone has the same correct understanding of what's coaching. So I'm going to tell you what coaching is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a model, a really cutting edge model you can apply right away. And I'll give you one of the most powerful techniques in coaching. So this will be a great takeaway for you on the first item, number one. Number two is I'm going to share with you about team coaching for high performance. This is going to be a competitive edge because if you are leaders, if you are able to create high performance teams, you would have competitive advantage because high performance teams are really rare. Yeah, it's really special. Less than 5% of teams all over the world that I've seen and coached are really in this category of high performance teams. So I'm going to share with you the best practices. I'm going to give you tools. I'm going to give you an assessment to assess where your team is and how you can coach for high performance teams. And finally, later on, we'll have a question and answer. I'm going to share with you a Global Leadership Summit, E-Summit that's coming up. That's really super exciting. So let's begin. Are you ready? Again, type in, I am ready. If you're excited, type in on your comments, say, I am excited. Share with your friends, bring people, and as many people as you can to learn from this and really be able to master coaching, unleash human potential, and reach to exponential growth. Now, I'm going to be giving out prizes, okay? So if you ask a good question, if I find that your question is the best question, I'll give you a prize. Look here, I've got books here. Can you see? I've got books. I'm going to give you out my book and I'm going to sign for you and I could scan it to you. I'll sign and write your name, okay? So if you ask good questions, you can get a prize if you have a good question. Now, if I ask you a question and you get the first one to get the answer, you will also get a prize. I've got my latest book here, 5 Levels of Mastery. I'm going to give out this book as well to you so you'll be able to get it as well. So tell me, if you want to win a prize, if you want to get one of my books, just type in the chat box and say, I want to win. Just tell me that you want to win, okay? Type in, say, I want to win. Very good, wonderful. Yes, say, I want to win, Reza. Yes, I want to win. Say, I'm excited. Very good. Now, let's start with the definition. Coaching. How do we define coaching? Now, Jack Canfield and I wrote in our book, Coaching for Breakthrough Success. Here it is. Look at it. It's an empowering process of unleashing human potential. This is so awesome, right? People feel empowered, their potential is being unleashed. We draw out solutions from people. Now, big question, how do we do it? It starts with effective listening, using both ears, right? Being able to have empathy, be able to have intuition, be able to get understanding and get it, what people are going through, what they're saying. We ask great questions to unleash more potential. We observe, we give feedback that will help them, that will be really helpful. We appreciate and encourage them so they feel stronger, they feel like a champion, and they can be more like a champion. We don't support them only once. We continuously support people. When they take ownership, they own it, the action and the goals. They become accountable and they take action to realize their goals. My friends, this is the essence of what coaching is. So if you apply all of these just in a nutshell in one paragraph, eventually you will be able to master coaching and unleash human potential to empower people. Now, let me share with you a model. With this understanding of coaching now, the next thing will be, how do you actually operate? How do you do it? Well, coaching is a conversation. So let me give you a conversational model. This is called situational coaching model, okay? Now, this model is applicable in any situation. You can apply this model in any situation because it's flexible, all right? It's based on different paradigms. Let me ask you, what is a paradigm? If you know what is a paradigm, please type in your answer. Type in your answer in the chat box. Tell me, what is paradigm? Anyone can say what's paradigm? Coach Kamrul, can you say what's paradigm? What is a paradigm?
Paradigm is the world that we live, right? It is inside our mind.
Correct. Yes. Paradigm is your focused thinking. So when you shift your paradigm, you shift your thinking. So when the coach asks a question, the coachee shifts into a paradigm. So if I ask a question, where are you going? What do you aim to achieve? What does success looks like? I'm shifting you into growth paradigm. If I ask you, what could you do? Is there anything else? What are possible solutions? Could there be better ideas? What would they be? I'm shifting you into exploration paradigm. If I go on and say, hey, what do you think is the root cause or source of this problem? If you look at all these possibilities, if you narrow down what could possibly be your best solution that will get you there fast, you're going narrowing down analysis. If I ask you, hey, Annika, how do you feel today? What would make you feel better? I'm shifting you into thinking of your feelings. It's called releasing paradigm. If I were to ask you, Coach Kamrul, what's your options and what decision that you will make that will lead you to the best path? What would be the right decision for you? Now, when I ask you these questions, I'm shifting you to think about what would be the best and the right decision for you. And finally, Annika, if I ask you, what action are you going to take? What are you going to do by when? Who will support you to ensure that you will be able to implement and get the results? I'm shifting you into the action paradigm. So if you look at this model, my friends, you will realize one thing. There is no fixed sequence. It's flexible. It's interconnected. Coaching is a conversation. It's about shifting paradigms. It's a question of understanding where your coachee is and then driving them, moving them from different paradigms, eventually producing awesome results in your coaching and unleashing their maximum potential. And that's what this model is about. Now, how do you remember the 6 paradigms? Simple. There is mnemonic. Here it is. It's called geared up. Everyone, let's just say it together. Geared up. Come on, Coach Kamrul, everyone, even all the speakers, let's say it together. Geared up.
Geared up.
Geared up.
Geared up. Geared up.
One more time. Say it out loud. Geared up.
Geared up.
Geared up.
Geared up.
Geared up.
Yeah.
Geared up tells you the 6 paradigms of coaching, right? G is goals, E is explore, A is analyze, R is release, D is decision, and A is action. So geared up. What does coaching do? In essence, coaching gears people up to make the right decision and to take action on those decisions. Let me ask you a question. If you coach and you gear up your top leader or executive into making the right decision and taking action on that decision, tell me what would happen? you would achieve results, won't you? So this is why this gear down situational coaching model drives for results and action and results and the right decision. Now let me give you some questions, okay? The essence of coaching, really the core of it, the single most important skill is the ability to ask great questions. So let me give you some questions based on gear down. So as I ask you this question, think about your own situation. Think about yourself. See if you can answer this question. If you can answer this question, write it down on a piece of paper or type it in the chat box. My first question for you is, where are you going? Do you know where you're going? What have you accomplished so far? And how are you going to get there? What else do you need to consider? What other possibilities are there? Well, where are you now? What are the current resources and situation that you're in? What is your current situation or reality that you are standing here right now? And what could be possibly the best ways for you to get to your destination, to where you want to be? How do you feel?
Feeling good, empowered.
What are your different paths towards your destination? Could there possibly be different routes or paths towards reaching your destination? Which path are you taking? Which path would be most suitable? Which would be the best path for you? Coach Kamrul, what action steps will you take by when? So here it is. I've just given you the questions. Now, when you apply gear down in situational coaching model, there is no particular starting point. If I'm talking to someone, if I'm talking to my friend in Germany and David, and he says, I'm not feeling good. I don't sleep well at night. I'm thinking about my job and, things are really getting very stressful and I'm worried. Now, they straight away move into releasing paradigm. So what would you do as a coach? You ask them, tell me more. How do you feel? Right? You understand them. You have empathy. So you cannot move them to the goals because they are releasing. So you got to start and go where your coaching is. And then from there you move, right? You move and then you navigate your situation. Now, let me share with all of this one very powerful technique you can apply. This will be in the area of the goals paradigm. So if you look at Gearda, G will be goals, right? So let me give you a powerful technique. One of the most powerful techniques I've ever created and shared with people that's helped a lot of people achieve their dreams. This is called the smartest goal technique, right? Smartest goal technique. It's in a goals paradigm. Now, would you agree smartest is better than smart? Would you rather be smart or smartest? Tell me. You want to be smart. Now, if you want to be smartest, you must know how to set smartest goals. Why is smartest goals so important? Let me tell you this. It goes way back to one of the smartest, most influential presidents of the United States. His name is Abraham Lincoln. You know what he said? He said, a goal that is well set is already half accomplished. There you go, my friends. As a coach, do you know how to coach so that your coachee sets a very compelling, powerful goal? So now I'm going to use these questions on you. So I'm going to coach you right now, okay? So you get a sheet of paper and a pen or key on your phone. I'm going to do these questions and ask you to answer them from your heart, okay? Answer them quickly from your heart. Just takes a couple of seconds for you to answer each of the questions. Note down your key points, okay? Let's go. Ready? Are you ready? Type in if you're ready. Say, I'm ready. Type in the chat box. Say, I'm ready. Very good.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yes, we are ready.
Breakthrough goal. All right, Coach Kamrul, Annika, all the rest of you here, top leaders in Bangladesh. What's your most important breakthrough goal that you want to achieve in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? What's your most important breakthrough goal? What's your most compelling goal? Now tell me, specifically, what outcome do you exactly want to accomplish? How does that success look like? How would you quantify or measure the outcome? How would you know that you have achieved the goal? What will be the measurement? What will be the criteria? Now, in what way do you have control over this goal? In what way can you recraft this goal in such a way that you have more control over attainment of this goal? Can you reset the goal in such a way that you have more control over it? Why is this goal important to you? How is it relevant to your life in future, to your long-term vision and your purpose? By which date will you reach this goal? What's the timeline? How does that look like? Give a number now. On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to achieve this goal? Give a number. What could you do to raise the number to be more highly motivated and engaged? Think about it. If you have already achieved the goal and today you're enjoying all the rewards, what lasting satisfaction would you gain after you achieve this goal? Now, finally, team base. Who are the people who will be part of this dream, this goal? Who are the people that will support you, that will be on this journey together with you? So my friends, I've just shared with you one of the most powerful techniques in coaching, asking the right questions in the goals paradigm, Remember, a goal that is well set is, can somebody help me complete this sentence? A goal that is well set is already
Effective.
Already half done.
correct. You got it. And how about the other half? The other half is about execution. You need to put into action and do it, right? Setting the right goal is half complete. The other half is you need to take action. All right? Now, my friends, look at what Anthony Robbins said. Questions provide the key to unlocking our unlimited potential. It is indeed true. We all have unlimited potential. It's inside of us. It's so huge. It's unlimited. How do we bring it out? How do we bring out people's potential? We must know how to ask the right questions. As a coach, the key is knowing how to ask the right questions. One great example, one of the greatest teachers of all time, his name is Socrates. Socratic way of teaching, he has brought up some of the best thinkers and students in the world. He never gave them the answers. He never told them what to do. He just asked them thought-provoking questions. And that is known as Socratic way of teaching. He knows how to coach his students. His students like Plato became some of the best thinkers in the world. So even great researchers, if you are a researcher, if you're doing a PhD research, if you're a professor, you know very well when you do a piece of research, asking the right question could either make or break your research. So a research question is so important, asking the right questions, right? So as great coaches, it's the same thing. Knowing how to ask the right questions will help unleash the potential of your coaches. All right. So now, let me go on to the next topic. This is now topic number 2, okay? Are you ready to go topic number 2? If you are ready, say, I am ready. All right, if you want to win some gifts, you want to get a book, okay? Type in a question and that's question. Yeah. Okay? Say, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Dr. Peter Chee, I think we are having some comments getting the sound. So I think we all need to mute our sound when we are not speaking because we see a lot of questions regarding the sound and noise. So
everyone mute except me. That's fine. Thank you. All right, now, team coaching for high performance. Why is this so important, my friends? All right, look at this. This is so applicable to our times right now. The law of Mount Everest. What does law of Mount Everest say? As the challenge escalates, the need for teamwork elevates. Let me ask you all a question. Are we facing challenging times? Are you facing challenging times? Yes or no? If the word is yes, or the need of teamwork elevates. You need to work together as a team as you face a bigger and bigger challenge. You can't climb Mount Everest alone. Those people who did, they went missing. You couldn't find them. They couldn't make it. But as a team, you could climb Mount Everest because it's a very huge challenge. So that's why teamwork is so important. Coaching to build high performance teams is a great competitive advantage. Look at what Patrick said. Look at Patrick. He's one of the most famous gurus in building teams. Look at what he said. Can you see what he said? Just read out what he said. Patrick Lencioni, 5 dysfunctions of a team. He said, not finance, not strategy, not technology. It is teamwork that remains the ultimate competitive advantage because it is so powerful and it is so rare. If you work in a great high performance team, you look forward to coming to work. It's a great place to work, my friends. So how do you do it? I'm going to share with you how you do it. Now, firstly, options. There are 3 options I give you here. You can hire an external team coaching expert to do coaching for your team, or as a leader, you can coach your team. This number 2 is a very high, tall order like Mount Everest because very few leaders are trained as a coach, let alone knowing how to coach one-on-one. They do not know how to coach as a team. So this is something to be learned. So option 3 is what I would recommend. Leaders partner with external team coaching experts together and coach their teams to high performance. This is what most people do. This is what I personally do as well. Even I have been a very experienced coach and top global coach. My teams, I coach them, but I still hire external experts. I hire people like Master Sifu, Zen Master, KC Young to come and coach my teams. Why do I do that? Because we keep improving our teams. Even though we are high performance teams, we want to go even higher. So we work together with external experts. We know that we ourselves cannot see all the things within our own issues that we are facing or dealing with. So that's why we hire external team coaching experts to do that together with us. Now, let me show you a really important point about coaching here, my friends. Look at this one. I have a question for you. Does a coach still need a coach? What do you think? Do you agree? If you agree, type in yes. A coach still needs a coach. If you agree, type in yes. Type in your chat box in Facebook or YouTube. Type in yes if you agree. If you don't agree, tell me why you don't agree. Let me ask you, does a doctor need a doctor? If you're a doctor, do you need a doctor? Can you operate on yourself? Can you operate on your own family? If you're a doctor, do you still need a doctor? So why does a coach still need a coach? There are many reasons people have talked about it, like you have your own blind spots, you don't see it, you have your own improvement areas that you need to work on. But most importantly, let me tell you this, you need to be a great role model, because great leaders are great role models. Leadership is leadership by example, is the best form of leadership. So that's why if you tell your team, have a coach, let me coach you, you tell your friends, go for it, get a coach. They'll be looking at you and they'll be wondering, hey, since you said get a coach, how about you? Who's your coach? Then you got to have a coach. So therefore, it's not just about giving coaching, it's also about receiving. It's two ways. Look at this. I hope you were avoiding looking at this kind of picture on the right-hand side here, because it really doesn't look good, right? Look at a top leader at a CEO. If there are issues at the top, what happens in the middle, what happens at the bottom? I think the picture paints 1,000 words, right? It really sucks if you're at the bottom, if the top level leaders are not doing well and they're not leading well. At the bottom, you suffer like hell. Look at that, right? So which is the group of people that needs team coaching the most? Tell me. It's the top team, right? It's a top team. So that is why we engage the top team and then the whole organization improves. We coach CEOs and CXOs to transform. This is what we do. I'm going to share with you how we do it, right? So most issues are from the top. John Maxwell said so correctly, everything rises and falls on leadership. If leadership at the top sucks, at the bottom, it's far way worse. Look at all the shit down on the birds at the very bottom, at the below of the hierarchy of the organization. It's terrible, right? So you need to coach at the top level, and then you start spreading it through the whole organization, making transformation throughout the organization. Now, look at myself here. I am a coach, but I still seek out to be coached by the best in the world. Look at all these people who have coached me. People like Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, world's #1 leadership coach, executive coach. He's been my coach. John Maton has been, my partner and coach. He was the coach for Steve Jobs, and I seek out to learn from him. Mark C. Thompson, world's #1 CEO coach. I have been coached by him. I've learned from him. Dr. William Ralphell, #1 coach for succession planning and talent management. These people have written books. I've been coached and mentored by them. I continue to seek out to be coached by the best, because I believe that a coach still needs a coach. So no matter how high, how great, how successful you are, you can always do better with a coach, and you'll be a great role model. And this is what I've done. If I'm not have had all these great coaches, including my own father, Dr. Thomas Chee, I would not have reached to where I am today. It's because so many great people have helped me and coached me. So that will work the same for you as well as for your team members. Now, here is a roadmap, right? I share with you the process. This is result-based coaching and creating high-performance teams for game-changing breakthroughs. We typically start off with an assessment. I'll show you how the assessment is like. We will assess the team. We'll come together as a retreat, not just to have fun and play games, but come together to really talk about how we can produce high performance as a team. And then what we will do is that in each month, we will alternate between individual coaching and team coaching. Why is that so? Well, I'll tell you why is that so. Because, teams need to be coached to work together as a team to strategize and execute. But then individuals in the team also need to improve. They have their own personal issues and problems. So if every individual in team member is coached separately, if every team member improves, the whole team gets better as well. So we alternate. In 1 month, we coach the individual makes a commitment and improves. In another month, we coach the team, and the team comes together again. So we alternate through a 12 months kind of entire journey, because you don't get high performance within a short span. You need to transform people's habits and behaviors, and it takes time. And so typically we will do at a midpoint, like 6 months, we'll do a review of performance and results in the team. We will do an assessment of the team, see where the team is. Some organizations like to do it faster. They might do it a quarterly assessment or management review. So that's fine too. I would recommend at least 6 months. And then the journey continues. You continue to coach individually, continue to coach as a team. At the end of 12 months, you will do that review. Typically in the review, we will, even if you are coaching CEOs and CXOs, we will bring chairmen, we will bring directors in to sit in, key stakeholders to really in the review to see how the team is doing and what they're doing and how they're improving. Because my friend, whatever gets measured and gets reinforced gets done better. So in management reviews and assessment, we measure, we reinforce. At the end, we see breakthrough results. So this is the process, and I'm going to give you some techniques and tools how you can apply in this journey, in this entire process. It produced results. It has been proven time and time again to be effective. So here is a case example of PepsiCo when I coached the vice president, Vishal, who is now the vice president. Now I coached him, he coached his team. He was a great coach to his team too. Look at what happened. He has just written here, my team and I have achieved complete business turnaround, exceeding all key metrics. And what is even more exciting, the results are holistic and sustainable. So this is what happened in the case of Vishal. I coached him, he coached his team, and he successfully transformed the organization, turned it around, and exceeded all the key metrics and the KPI goals. This was an awesome success. So this is a case of team coaching. Now, I'm going to share with you now the assessment, okay? If you're ready, let's go to the assessment here. The 10 best practices of teams. Now, I'm going to ask you to join me together, participate in this assessment. I'm going to give you each of these key best practices, okay? I'm going to give you 8 and then ask you to guess what is 9 and 10. If you can guess what is 9 and 10, type in the chat box, type in the comments, and you will win a prize, okay? So let me go one by one. As I go through explaining each and every one of these, you do a self-assessment. Give yourself a score of 1 to 10. 10 will be excellent. Now, when you give a score, you give a score of you and your team, your entire team that works together as a team, okay? It's not only yourself. You give a score, you do a self-assessment of your own team, all right? So first one, unity. Does your team have common values, vision that binds all of you together, moving in the same vision, same mission, with the same team, moving in the same direction, with the same strategy, and making decisions together as a whole, as one team? Give yourself a score of 1 to 10. Go ahead. Later, I'll ask you to add up all the scores and see whether you have high performance teams or not. Okay, let's do that. Give yourself a score for question 1. Let's do now question 2. Clarity. Is your team clear on the goals? Where you're all going? The roles, who is playing what role? Is your team clear about each other's responsibilities and what expectations you have for each other? Go ahead, give a score 1 to 10. How good is it in your team? Number 3, positivity. How positive is your team in terms of effectively communicating with each other with humor and fun, uplifting each other? It's great working together because everybody communicates positively. Go ahead, give yourself a score 1 to 10. Number 4, connectivity. How much do people appreciate and care for each other and have gratitude towards each other? How grateful are you for each other as a team? Go ahead, give yourself a score 1 to 10. In a while, I'm going to tell you what score you will have to be a high performance team, okay? Number 5, integrity. All team members have great right intentions with their words and actions that maintains high trust and integrity. You can trust each other. You can trust each other with your life. You can trust each other to support each other towards the journey. Go ahead, give yourself a score 1 to 10. Number 6, this is very important, okay? Safety. Now, this safety is not just about physical safety, it's very much about psychological safety. Now, how safe do team members feel that they are being respected in spite of their differences? And in spite of conflicts or differences, they can be resolved in a compassionate, caring manner with each other. People feel safe to speak up, to share their ideas. Yes.
Dr. Peter,
Yes.
Your screen, people are saying some of them, our screen is not clear. Can you adjust a bit on the app? On the app, there is some space.
Yeah.
So
just yeah, it's clearer now, right?
A bit adjustment.
Okay, it's better. Now, one. Number 6, safety is so important. This is psychological safety. Now, this, I tell you, there's a lot of organizations, including Google, has done a research. Google did a project called Aristotle. In the Aristotle project, Google seek to find out what really makes teams high performance. And they found one thing most important, safety. Do teams feel safe with each other? Do they feel safe to open up their mind and thoughts and speak and openly talk about issues? That's number 6. Give yourself a score 1 to 10. Number 7, diversity. Now, how do your teams have people with different knowledge, different expertise, different way of thinking, different religion, different background, different nationality, different gender, and yet all can work together well and leverage on your strengths to create a competitive advantage? Now, how well are you working diversely within your team? Right? How diverse is your team, right? Now, go ahead, give yourself a score 1 to 10, and then agility. How agile and fast is your team to adapt, to learn very quickly, to continuously improve yourself as a result of changing situation and economic situation and technology? Your team can really learn really fast, very quickly. Give a score of 1 to 10. All right, very good. Now, add up the score and see how many that you have, okay? Add up the score. Let me give you number 9 and 10. If you can guess it right now, key in the answer. What is number 9? What is number 10? If you get it, I'll give you a prize. Later on, I'll give you one of my books, okay? I'll tell you and send it to you. I'll email it, okay? Okay, what is number 9? Anyone can say number 9? Say it out loud. If you know what number 9 is, say it out. Come on, anyone?
Common purpose.
Okay, let me give you a common purpose is already there. It's under unity. It's number 1. All right. So try again. Try again. Number 9. Number 9 is accountability. Are team members accountable for taking action to what they have agreed to do to do it? Number 10 is dependability. Okay, dependability. To what extent can team members depend on each other when it gets difficult, when it gets problematic, when it gets tough, when it gets late, when it gets really draining? You can still depend on each other to support, to achieve the results together, to celebrate together, each other no matter what. right? Leave no soldier behind. You can count on each other. You have dependability. Number 10. All right, give yourself a score. Give yourself a score there, 1 to 10. Add up the score, my friends. Add up the score. Okay. All right. As you're adding up your score, you will know what you will score in total. Okay. Add up the score and see how many that you have. Okay. If you have 100, then you will be the highest because there are 10 items. 100, you will be at the highest. Okay. Add up your score. All right. Add up your score, and I'll tell you this. Okay. Let me tell you this. Can you make a guess? High performance team score, what percentage? You gotta be 80% and above to be high performance teams, okay? 80% and above. And only less than 5% of teams all over the world that I've seen and trained in 80 countries, less than 5% are able to score 80% and above. So that's very rare high performance teams, my friends. Most of them score 70% and below. Right, so they have still work to do to get to high performance teams. Now, I have done recently with my teams, I can tell you, we have reached high performance teams. We have reached 85%, but still we do not stop there. Our target now is to move our teams to get external experts to come and coach my ITD World in many countries. Our goal is to reach to 95%. So we want to go 10% up, even though we are high performance teams. But it's not easy, my friends. It's not easy to score high on all of these, right? You know what your score is, right? If you know what your score is, go ahead, type it in the chat box, type it in the comments, share with me your score, right? If you got truly a higher score, then I'll give you a prize, okay? If you got a really higher score, what you need to do is you need to go back and ask your team members, all of them do the score and add it up together and get the average. Is it true? If it's true, then you are right. If it's not true, then you must be dreaming because all team members have got to give the score and then you add it up and then you see what's the average. Then you will know the views of all team members. Where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? And once you do this, that's where we get into coaching. So after assessment, we get into coaching. Now you can do a 30, 60-minute exercise here and just ask 2 key questions will be enough, right? From the assessment, you ask 2 key questions. Now, here it is. What are the top 2 or 3 challenges faced in the team, right? What are they? Identify them and then go into question 2. What are the top 2 or 3 habits that we must change to be more effective as a team? And then follow up on that every month to see that people do it, they change, keep score of it, reinforce when they do it well, and review the results, focusing on this. So keep doing it, keep improving. Eventually, you get to high performance teams, okay? Now, remember, changing habits is not easy, right? At the end, what we're looking at is not only behavior change, we're looking at changing habits of the team. Because when team members change habits, they stick on. When habits stick on, it becomes a lifelong success habit, right? This is what we're talking about. Coaches are experts in helping their clients and teams change their habits. It takes time. Typically, difficult to change habits can take anywhere between 3 months or more. So to change a habit, it could take you 3 months or more, a tough, complicated habit, right? So that's why we keep going, we keep changing more and more habits of team members and working as a team. Eventually, you get to high performance teams. All right, my friends. This is what Brian Tracy and I wrote in our book. Brian Tracy and I wrote this book called 12 Disciplines of Leadership Excellence, this book here. And this is one of those things that Brian really believes in and I really believe in as well. Look at that. Success is that fully 95% of everything that you think, feel, do, and achieve is as a result of habit. So what got you here to where you are today, it's really based on your habit. If you're healthy today, because you have healthy habits. If you are not healthy today, you have unhealthy habits. That is it, right? That's the result. The result you get is out of your habits. So the key thing about coaching is helping people change behavior and then change the habits to make it stick so that it become lifelong success habits. So that's what we do. And let me now give you a tool, okay? All right, good. So let me check a quick check on the time. Very good. Still got 12 minutes. Let me give you a tool and I will wrap up after that. Another 12 minutes to go. So here's a tool. You can sit down with your team and then here, this is a powerful tool because right at this time, you want to coach for exponential growth. Now, this tool will help you get that because this is disruptive. You disrupt your team to think in a more creative manner. This is what we call disruptive design thinking coaching tool. We use that for team coaching. So if you want your team to innovate, use this tool, okay? First question, what's a disruptive game-changing tool? Now, let me ask you that. If you can answer it, just go ahead and answer it, right? Second question, where and who is your target customer? If you are HR or your finance, your target customer could be internal. But if you are marketing and sales, your target customer could be in another country if you're going international, right? So really define your customer very clearly. And then what's your customer's persona? How is your customer behaving, their characteristics? And what is their biggest pain point? What is their biggest suffering that they are going through right now that you can help them elevate their pain and the problem? And How can you best solve the customer's pain points? How can you help customers bring the solutions to help them solve their pain points? Okay, answer this question if you can. And then how can you use your greatest strength for maximum innovation? This is indeed so important because one of the greatest management thinkers that ever lived, Peter Drucker, he said this long time ago and it's still so applicable. What did Peter Drucker say? Peter Drucker said, the purpose of an organization is to create an alignment of strengths and make your weaknesses irrelevant. So that's what this question is for, right? How do you use your greatest strength for maximum innovation for your advantage? So using your strengths, what are you really good at? Now let's go on. What habit do you need to change, right? What roadblocks, what issues that you're facing right now, gaps that you need to close, you need to change those habits to get the game-changing results. And what's stopping or blocking you or your team? What could be a roadblock? What could be a derailer that could cause your team to fail? We need to deal with that, right? Once we know it. And then what are your best game-changing solutions? So your solutions will be about satisfying customers. Your solution will be solving pain points. Your solutions will be using your strengths. Your solutions will be overcoming your roadblocks by putting in some solutions in there as well. And then how does your innovative solution prototype look like? Now, this is a really awesome question in design thinking because, in design thinking, we get people to come up with prototypes as quickly as possible. In other words, draw up something, fix something, make something, do something that looks like the solution that you're going to create for your customer, right? Build it up and then start to improve on it and pivot and keep improving. So you got to start somewhere, get some quick win, do a sprint and then be agile, keep on improving on your prototype and pivot. So that's really question 9. And then how can you be sure your customer loves your solution? So you need to keep testing your solution and pivoting and improving on it. And then what are your decisions and action steps? What will you do? When would you do it? So my friends, these are the questions you can use in the tool. I've given you assessment, I've given you a tool, I've given you a process how you can do team coaching, all right? And these are the guidelines, these are the rules of engagement. So when you do team coaching, here are some of the rules you need to follow, right? The coach asks great questions. You can ask questions to team or individual. Team members will answer. Some team members will take turns to answer, or they may like to ask questions. Allow team members to ask questions. So it's kind of like very, very dynamic, right? The way the team coaching goes. Now, everyone listens, appreciate, and encourage each other. This is a must. And you must challenge each other when you're in team coaching, but challenge each other in a positive way. Could there be a better way? Could we tweak this idea? Could we connect this dot? So keep challenging each other and make it fun. Humor, voice, body language in a positive, high spirit will get everyone motivated to want to be in the team to be coached. And then give helpful feed forward to each other. Feed forward is a particular aspect of feedback, but what is good about feed forward is that it's positive and it's about how you can do better in the future. There's no blaming, there's not pointing finger, there's not saying what you did wrong in the past. No, forget about all that. Let's look into the future. Let's look at how we can do better, how you can do better in the future in a positive way. So here, these are the rules of engagement for team coaching. All right, and then remember, move into action with the timeline. Put in the timeline, put in the commitment, and move into action. Okay, so now, after having done all of this, if you apply it, you will see amazing results. You have to keep doing it over and over again for at least 12 months. Now, let me give you a case in example. This is Telenor. Telenor is one of the most leading telecommunications companies, yeah? Right? So Lars, as a CEO, look at what he wrote. We did this result-based coaching for Telenor Group, okay? He was the CEO of Telenor in Sweden, in DG in Malaysia, and DTech as well in Thailand. Look, we did a 12-month result-based coaching solution. Look at what he said, the CEO. Our talent and top leadership team improved significantly in areas of strategy, goals alignment, collaboration, passion, and results orientation. We have been able to overachieve on our bottom line business breakthrough goal. ITD World, you are truly at the forefront of global leadership transformation field. So we help change the culture, transform the leaders, build high performance teams, and they overachieve on their business goals. This is what happened. At a celebration event after 12 months, the CEO came up in a speech with everyone, all the key talents and top leaders, and I was there witnessing the event. He smiled and he said to everyone, when we started this, I didn't know that coaching would have such a high impact on changing the culture and achieving business results. Now I know, now I believe in it. Let's continue the journey. So you continue to build up the coaching culture and really transform the organization. So my friends, this is the outcome you get when you apply team coaching. That's why we talk about coaching for exponential growth. If you coach individuals and you coach teams and you unleash people's unlimited potential, you will get to exponential growth. Okay, my friends, let's all say it out loud together, okay? This is one of my favorite phrases. Teamwork makes the dream work. We say it all the time in ITD World. We have our teams in ITD World in the organization where I'm the CEO, where people working in so many countries all coming together. We all say this, teamwork makes the dream work. Let's say it out loud together, everyone. 1, 2, go. Teamwork makes the dream work. Let's say it again, everyone. Come on, join hands together. Teamwork
Makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Just imagine if you can coach high performance teams, you work in a great team, it's a great place to work. Don't you agree? So this is where will help get you to exponential growth. Okay, so finally, this is what I would say. Great coaches make great leaders. If you want great leaders in your organization, build great coaches. Why? Here it is, simple. A leader's role is to maintain good relationships, enable performance, and grow their people. Coaching accomplishes all of that. So that's why when we talk about leadership, right, you can read all the books, do a PhD on leadership and get very confused. Don't need to do all of that. Just 3 things you need to do as a leader. 3 things only. Maintain good relationship, enable performance, and grow your people. And you can do all of that being a great coach as a leader, and you will be a great coach, and you will be seen as a great leader. People will respect you because you will lead with influence, not by position or authority. People respect you and look up to you as a coaching leader. All right, my friends. Later on, I'll take question and answers, and I will. If you got great questions that you put there, I still got 5 minutes, but no worries. I will end very soon. I'll give out books if I see on a chat box that you ask a good question, okay, or you are able to answer my question, I will give you a prize, okay? So now I'm going to ask you a question very soon, okay? All right, listen very carefully. I'm going to ask you a question. Here's the question. Any one of you can answer this question, okay? Top leaders in Bangladesh, Kamrul, any one of you can answer this question. Just type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. If I see you are the first one to give the answer, I will give you a prize, okay? I'll give you one of my books. I've got one of these books here for you. Here it's called Coaching for Breakthrough Success, okay? This is an awesome book that I want to give you. Write your name and sign it for you, okay? So here's the question. What is the one thing in common that makes them outstanding? Let me give you the question first, okay? There's a few items here, okay? This thing in common makes all of them outstanding. Number 1, Socrates. Number 2, great researchers. Number 3, Anthony Robbins. Number 4, master coaches. Tell me if you can get the answer, type the answer. Come on, type the answer out in your chat box. If you can get the answer, give me the answer. What is it, okay? Say it out loud or type it in the chat box. Type it in the chat box. Type in your comments, okay? Say the answer. If you know the answer, say it right now. In 3 seconds, I'm going to give the answer now. If you say the answer, you got it right. What is this tree?
Master coaches.
Socrates do well. What do great researchers do well? What does Anthony Robbins do? Say about something. What do master coaches do? What's the most important skill for master coaches? Very good. What is common among all of them? The answer is they have the ability to ask great questions. They mastered asking questions. So my friend, there you go. I've given you a lot of great questions here today you can use to coach yourself, your team, and your organization. So you can apply it. Now, this is my final quote for you here. Dr. Marshall Goldsmith and I wrote a book called 5 Levels of Mastery. This is one of our latest books, Coaching and Mentoring for Love, Happiness, and Success. Here, we do it all with love. Why? Look at this. Success is a journey to be enjoyed lovingly each step of the way. Love is what matters most. So give lovingly, love what you do what you love, and love yourself. This is my message for you. This sums up the core philosophy and top values that I live in my life. And I coach people. Please stay in touch. You can connect with me at Facebook or LinkedIn. My email address is peter@itdworld.com. Send me a message, and one of these days I would volunteer to coach you, because one of those things I do sunrise Eureka beach coaching. In the morning, on Saturday and Sunday in the weekend, I wake up and the beach is just outside my home. I walk outside, I coach people, I volunteer. People from all over the world, right? From Germany, from Spain, from Korea, from Japan, they've come to be coached by me, and we have beautiful sunrise, and I volunteer to coach. And so one of these days you could be coached by me. You just have to connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn and send me a message, and we can schedule. Look at some of them here. You see them, right? This is Isaac from India. We have Jose from Spain. We have Frederick from Sweden. We have Peter Strenkel from Germany. We have KL Chua from Intel. We have Gregory from France. They come and they coach. They get coached early in the morning at sunrise. Some even come to Penang in Malaysia to eat durian. You look at the center picture right there, Jose. First time in his life, he breaks a pattern. He eats a durian. It's amazing. I help people transform, change their patterns, and live an amazing life through coaching, unleashing people's potential. All right, so I want to tell you this, okay? On 23rd, 24th September 2020, CKH Network Kamrul is partnering with ITD World. We have an event coming up. It's called the Global Leadership E-Summit. This summit is about rising up to exponential growth. It's happening on 23rd and 24th September. It's at Singapore time. It's 5:45 to 9:30 p.m. It's probably like in Dhaka time, Bangladesh is like 3:45 to 7:30 p.m. So it's going to go on for like 5 hours for over 2 days. It's going to be people from New York, from London, from Dhaka, from Singapore, all over the world. 1,000 top leaders and CEOs are going to be in this event, and it's going to be coached by the best to be the best. This event is for CEOs, HR, senior leaders. Come together as a team, come together as a top team to learn how to rise up to exponential growth in the face of difficulties, crisis, economic challenges, how to step up, jump the S-curve, and rise back to exponential growth. You learn from the world's number one, the best, Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, world's number one executive coach. You learn from Mark C. Thompson, world's number one CEO coach. You learn from John Letton, world's number one coaching guru. He was a coach to Steve Jobs. Dr. William Rockwell, world's number one succession planning, time management, talent management coach. And you learn from me too. If you like learning from me, if you enjoyed today, you will see me coaching. I'm the world's number one strategic innovation coach, and I'll coach you and your team to bring to another level of exponential growth innovation. My friends, here it is. These are the topics we coach on. Disruptive Coaching 4.0, we will have the topic on intelligent leadership for resilience growth accelerator at this Global Leadership Summit. We will talk about jumping the S-curve for exponential growth innovation. We'll talk about scaling growth with great employee and customer engagement. We talk about giving cutting-edge talent maximization for sustainable growth. And Dr. Marshall Goldsmith will talk about triggering growth mindset and habits for rapid growth. It's an awesome event, my friends. And today I have something special for all of you. You can register it, and the fee is $280 for a group of 5, or you get a super early bird free, and you can join this event. It's an online global leadership summit where you get to network and learn from leaders and top coaches from all over the world. And so here it is. This is the link, itdworld.com/GLS2020. If you like this event, type in your chat box, type in your comments, I like to join this event, GLS2020. itdworld.com/GLS2020/ Go inside the website or scan this QR code and you can register today, and you can get the best deal to be in this event, to be coached by the best, to be the best. I wish you all the best, my friends, and I had a really enjoyable time. Thank you very much for inviting me here, and I will take your questions later if you have any. And of course, you can type questions on your comments or chat box, and I will deal with them and I will answer them. Thank you all so much. It's been 45 minutes and exactly on time.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So what a sports, right? So can we all just give and say thank you to Dr. Peter Chee, those who are watching from website, from YouTube, from Facebook, from various pages. Can you just say thank you, Dr. Peter Chee? Thank you, Dr. Peter Chee. Just say thank you,
Dr. Peter Chee.
Cheers.
Yes, on the great energy and great passion. Cheers, guys.
See you in Bangladesh. Cheers.
Take care.
Give me a high five. High five. High five. Give me a high five. High five.
Wonderful. That's
High five. Give me a high five. I'll see you in Dhaka. I'll see you in Dhaka. I'll see you in London. I'll see you in New York. I'll see you at the global
Hang on.
leadership.
People, those are watching, they would think that this is closing. No. We are not closing. So please don't go. This is not closing.
High five.
This is just celebrating the halfway. So wait a bit, everyone. Wait a bit. So hold your nerve and fasten the seat belt, and also with the mask. Because social distancing. We are distancing. See, the 4 of us, 6 of us sitting in different places because of COVID, because of social distancing. Otherwise, we could have been sitting in Dhaka together, maybe in somewhere in the hotel. So that's the social distancing we are maintaining. So, world's number 1 strategic innovation coach, Dr. Peter Chee, he talked about the rising up for exponential growth. He has talked about habit change. What habit you need to change today? You think you must change. So you can type on the screen, on the comments, right? So what are the habits that you think not helping? So do you think that you need to change some of your habits? Say yes, if you believe so. If you believe that you need to change some of your habit to rise up exponentially, say yes. I'm sure, because everybody need to change. We all have some habits that we need to change. We all have the dream. If you have the dream, also type yes. If you have dream, and then also you must also change some of your habit. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. And how can you change your habit? How can you change your habit? It's the whole purpose of learning is not also going back to where we were. The whole purpose of learning is implementing and changing the habit by implementation on the neurons, on the behavior, and then and then the reflections. So that's what actually coaching does. That's what a coach can do. What habit you need to change? So that's a question we want to ask you. You don't have to answer today, but answer yourself. If you have dream, also if you think that also you need to change some of the habit, I got to change some of the habit too. I need to bring some of the new habit. I need to create some more habit for my own growth too, because I want to improve every day. I'm sure everyone does. If you do, say yes. So in this session, we are going to speak every one of our distinguished guests, including Kazi M. Ahmed Bhai. Firstly, we are starting from the founder president of Bold, Bangladesh. Every one of them going to speak 15 minutes. So in this, I'm actually humbly inviting our beloved Kazi M. Ahmed, President Bold, to speak, his time, please, regarding the
Oh,
leadership,
thank you.
Bangladesh Leadership Seminar. Welcoming
Thank you.
Kazi M. Ahmed. Stage is yours.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Thanks to Dr. Peter Chee, who was presenting in a standing mode, and the energy and the enthusiasm is very contagious. So I thought I'll speak like a serious professor, but all this changed with his like kind of style. I know Ineke is just the same. I don't know what the world is going, where the world is going. As a jump certified person to be, and I will be working with Peter Chee in future. I know I have become the biggest fan in Bangladesh. I don't know about others. I want to take the first spot anyway, because all we have the energy, and when you show the energy, you feel you're lifted, you get inspired even by body language, and not to talk about the high quality content that my friend Dr. Peter Chee, I will call you only Peter, of course. Peter, you did a marvelous job. I know you had to cover a lot. Maybe that's why you had to go fast, but I'm benefited that way. I got more that way, I would say. Anyway, having said that, I want to thank Coach Kamrul Hasan Network. Some people may not know what CKH Network is. It's Coach Kamrul Hasan Network for arranging this. First, because this is the first time a globally #1 strategic coach by Gold, determined by Marshall Goldsmith, is here in Bangladesh. I know you've been here physically, but I'm glad he could manage time to be here virtually. So that's my first thank you. The second thank you is, I think Kamrul has said it. Bold has many roles, but two are very relevant here. One, of course, is advocating for or campaigning for enhancing coaching, enhancing learning and development. And the second role is certification, national certification in collaboration with international certification organizations such as ITT World and many others. So this is thank you for keeping bold. And future leaders, you said it the best way. I'm considered as the pioneer in Bangladesh. There's some benefits of being old or senior, or being a pioneer. And that's what's happened with me in Bangladesh. Back in 2001, I left the university. I was teaching at the best business school after studying at New York University, at International University of Japan, and the University of Oslo. They say University of Oslo though. Anyway, but I taught for 7.5 years, and I realized I was ready for the corporate sector in a different role, as a coach, as a trainer, facilitator. And I need to tell you the background, especially for Dr. Peter Chee. I think Ranjan knows a lot. And of course, my fellow countrymen, both Shabir Bhai, as well as Kamrul, knows so much more. But I would tell you, after 7.5 years, when I started my Future Leaders, which is the pioneer leadership and soft skills training firm by Bangladeshis. By then, of course, Ranjan is developing leaders. I mean, I'm even at the same time or even before me in Bangladesh, and only foreign people from US, Sri Lanka, India. But I was one of the persons who could stand and also present in Bangla and English. You know how sometimes in Malaysia or any parts of the world, bilingual presentations communicate well. I'm not saying it's a necessity, but when I started off with entry level or even sometimes mid level, but I never could manage the top level. Of course, that was the beginning of my career. Why I'm giving you the background is you get the idea. Now, quickly, I move on now to coaching. Initial time was only training, but then thanks to this German multinational called Bayer Crop Science, their regional managers needed coaching. And his French managing director said, Mr. Kazi, look, we need an external coach. This is where Peter Chee has a big point, that you may have your own coach, yes, fine, thank you, or only external coach, but when it comes in and works together with the colleagues, magic happens. That I agree with Peter, that's when magic happens. I want to tell you that in Bangladesh, multinational companies, and Mr. Shabir Ali has worked for many multinational companies. He will agree with me. Multinational companies utilize the coaching services so much more. I can go on after this Bayer Crop Science. I think I remember having worked with BOC, but now it's called Linde. The Singapore office of BOC, which is now Linde, during pandemic time, they are the biggest service provider for oxygen, you know. So I'm saying this is amazing company, and they hired me, but also trained me on coaching from Singapore. Even during those times, Skype meeting was the way. I think Zoom wasn't there until then, that time, 10 years back I'm talking about. So I'm saying I was surprised that I could, from the managing director to senior management team, extended management team, and it cascaded down, almost like the figure that Peter showed, except there were not much bullshit there, fortunately, because it got started with the top people. So interesting. Later, I would say I moved on to this Indian multinational called Marico hired me to develop trainers. I mentioned to you, I'm a certified facilitator on coaching, on the GROW model of coaching. Today, I'm lucky I got a glimpse of smartest model of coaching. I heard SMART goals or SMART. Then somebody introduced me to SMARTER. And now I'm like, gosh, there's a SMART test. Even team, all the way to the team, to the engagement. Amazing. This is cool, I must say. So this is how, most recently though, after even working with Ports, the UK multinational, I'm giving you just names of the companies. There's a reason. I work with these multinationals, but then my fellow consultants, coaches may have worked others. But only one national group of company called Square Food Limited, part of this Square group, I thank its head of human resources, Amin Bhai, who understood, who knew, because he had come from the multinational company background. So I saw how he wanted to create leaders. We did the first session, and after pandemic, I'm sure he wants to do the face-to-face one, and now they're doing follow-ups. Why I'm giving a list of companies, you are wondering, and the sad part is very few Bangladeshi companies do it. And we all know that multinational companies are 5 to 7 to 10% maybe in terms of the number. In terms of number, even less than 5%. But the national companies, the group of companies, and then middle, and there are SMEs, so much potential is lost. In the next 5 to 7 minutes, that's what I want to talk about. That with my experience of working with multinational companies, with my all this background, I think I'm now wondering, how can we change the coaching culture in Bangladesh? And it's been a couple of months now, and Ineke also showed up, leadership coaching with QMA. You know, we had several sessions on how coaching can be a part of Bangladesh company culture. Thank you, Ineke, for you came. My friend James came from, I think he came from New Zealand. We have friends from Dubai, friends from India, and friends from Sri Lanka, and so many others. So that effort is going on. But today's, with this big bang, I would say, in the coaching world, CKH Network had started a fresh big bang journey that gives us so much encouragement and energy to me personally, to organizationally, to Bold, and to Bangladesh's own top leadership and coaching company, Future Leaders. So that, I think we'll have discussion with Peter later how we can have programs for Bangladeshi CEOs, C-level executives with team leaders and so on. We'll talk about that. But I think when I work with people in training sessions and in learning programs, and because they don't want to organize coaching sessions, not so much Bangladeshi companies. So in other sessions, I ask them, okay, you have a team. How many you have? How many you have? People say, I have 5 people, I have 20 people. Okay, I have direct report is 5, but then I'm responsible for 250 people. I said, wow. And then I say, what do you think? Given their potential, can you tell me how much are they utilizing their potential? In other words, if they can sell, let's say 100% with their potential, where they are right now, how much do you think are they selling? How much do you think their results coming? To what extent they are utilizing all the skills, knowledge they have? And there are varied answers, of course, but rarely it exceeded 60% in most of my sessions. Today, I don't have the time to go into the details, but I should tell you, then I tell them, what does it mean? You are able to generate only 60%, some say 40, some say 50, some say 70, but rarely anyone said 80. So in other words, the need for coaching is so clear, and a training cannot do it. Special assignments cannot do it. Something, only coaching and a combination, of course, of mentoring when appropriate, subject matter specialist you are, and you're looked up as like I am like mentoring so many young trainers and coaches in Bangladesh right now. So I'll not talk about that. Maybe for the convenience of Peter, I'm saying Bangladesh Association of Professional Coaches and Trainers will be launched in September. Along the lines of Malaysia has MAPTEC, we are launching BAPTEC, and with Shunil, who is the president of Malaysia Association, we are collaborating every week. So that's another thing we'll talk about. So finally, I would now go to what's the main idea in the last 3 minutes or so. So I tell them, you complain, when I ask them, what is your challenge? Why do you think you are achieving 60%? And why not more? He said, they don't have ownership. They are not motivated. They are not engaged. Oh my God, big list of blame games, which you mentioned, as if all these junior colleagues or team members, I would love to call them co-leaders, I never call them followers. Who's followers? Come on, they're just co-leaders. So all I want to say to them, and then I say, aha, so what is your modus operandi? And I went to ITD World's website, and you will find a fantastic video there, an animated video where they show how coaching is actually done. That's a good job I found on there. It's a 2-minute video, I think. And it's like people come with a problem, and instead of asking questions, Socratic questions, or Peter Chee questions, Kazi questions, Ineke questions. Ineke, in our training, you ask us so many questions. I wondered what we were doing. Anyway, I go back. So I say, you don't ask them. They often know the results because someone is in the ground. They know more than you do what customer have said, how customer feels, and you're not the right person. Did it occur to you? But their impression is, Oh, no, 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 they don't know much. Sadly, they don't have the idea of this inside out, which Peter Chee also mentioned. I think the definition of this coaching, gosh, the ultimate, maybe a bit large, a little bit bigger definition, but it captured every part of the coaching process. That's the beauty of the definition I got here. So ask question. Okay, before that, even listen, and then ask question, and then step by step by step, all the way to engagement, and then ownership, and the action, and then accountability. That when are you going to do it? Do you think I should remind you, or shall we develop on Trello software? You're going to do it by that time. Okay, you don't mind me reminding you? Okay, I will not remind you, but the technology will remind you. Okay, so all these, and they say, no, 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 I don't have time. Coaching is so time consuming. My last minute, so coaching is so time consuming. And I said, do you realize how much time you would have saved on your vacation, or when you are at home, or when you are commuting back? You now have become a person who you delegate to your junior colleagues. They do reverse delegation. When they're in problem, they call you boss. You know everything. Tell me. And you are so big guy. Aha, I have all the answers. You're forgetting that you're not doing your job. You're not looking up. You're looking down. So sad. And these are the stories I have from Bangladesh. So in conclusion, I would say a lot can be done. Multinational companies are doing a lot. I don't say that they are doing it, but I'm talking about national companies. I'm talking about even small companies, medium range companies, in government, in universities, everywhere. It does among youth. So we have a long journey to make. Having said that, I would say this is such a great journey, and we are in it together. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to share my 2 cents. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So thank you for finishing also on time, spot on. And we thought actually to put Ranjan at the last, because the topic he is going to speak is actually doing his PhD on this topic. All of us, we should know that he's doing PhD on one of the best university in the world, on the Russell Group University of Hull. So he's doing PhD on purposefulness, and how do we create a purposeful leader, and how the organization can be benefited out of the purposeful leader. So stay on. Those watching right now, Ranjan is coming at the end with his mastery of his leadership philosophies, 20 years of experience, and PhD's thesis nutshell in 15 minutes. That's going to be awesome. I can guarantee and ensure. Meanwhile, you know that somebody who has created the connections with heart and mind, because you see how we can create an impactful result by creating connections within the team members that can help, that can build trust. And once we build trust, I think it delivers. That's why Dr. Peter just said, teamwork makes us the dream work. So how can we create connection within the team to create the dream work? So please help me to welcome, to speak the power of connection through creating, coaching as a culture within the team. It's none other than the heart and mind connector, Ineke Hookmans.
Thank you, Kamrul. Thank you so much. Salam alaikum to all my friends in Bangladesh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, I'm so glad that I'm here, and I'm having such a good time being with you on the screen for these 2 hours. I'm having so much fun. It's amazing what I learned from Mr. Peter Chee. Nice to meet you, Peter. And of course, my dear Kazi, I'm always happy to see you. Ranjan, I love to talk to you again. And Shabir Ali, so nice to meet you again. So guys, this is amazing. I'm the only woman in the group, you notice. So let me give the applause for all the women who are watching. Okay, guys, applaud with me. to all the women that are watching, because we have to empower ourselves as women, because we're always in a minority in this industry, right? But we're not small, we're big. Okay, so I have 50 minutes, and that's amazing. And I really wanted to talk to you a little bit about the power of connection, because connection is actually the basis of all the things that we could achieve in life. And Kamrul already told you that traveling from your head, from your mind to your heart, that's actually 30 centimeters travel, right? If you would measure it, it's not even that long. It's 30 centimeters. Some people take a lifetime traveling from there to there. The whole method that I'm creating with Jump Movement, and this is the method that I'm bringing into the world and also bringing into Bangladesh, is about this travel from there to there and combining it. Because if it's collaborating, then it will be fantastic. I have created this method about 10 years ago, and in the meanwhile, I have been reaching over 250,000 people in 14 countries, and simultaneously now we are launching the Engaged Teams program in 3 continents. I'm really proud of that. There's a very cool group of certified people in Bangladesh that are working with me to launch it there, and they are training so hard to get to be the best facilitators ever. As we speak, Afia Parveen is actually training and doing her practice. So this woman is out there. See, there's actually the one thing that I could talk about for days is actually the basis of this traveling from there to there, because the mind is a computer. It's very simple. It has 3 functions. The one is uploading data, because we learn a lot. We have to upload the data. The second is we have to store it somewhere. It has to be put somewhere. And then third is let's download when we need it. Now I'm getting into a certain age. Tomorrow is my birthday. I won't say my age, but still I'm traveling, in the age. And some stuff is not finding their way back to download, It's still there. So actually, our mind's computer is deteriorating the minute you get older. Now, the heart is very interesting, because when you open your heart, you connect with everything. And connecting with everything means that everything is accessible for you. All the answers that you need for your growth is accessible. And this travel is very cool. Now, there's one thing, and that's a very big secret I'm going to reveal to you. If you would master that in your life, and it's very, very, very difficult, but if this one little thing, you would master it in the rest of your life, it would mean the power of connection would start. And it would have the effect that people around you would feel more safe. People around you would relax. And people around you would start moving automatically. And the one thing, I'm going to reveal it to you because I know you're very curious. You're very curious. The one thing is postpone your judgment. Don't stop judging, because when you cross the street, you have to judge if it's safe, otherwise you will be run over by a truck. But postpone it in relationships or in situations that you come across. If you postpone it, immediately you give some space there. So if we put our opinion a little bit to the background, we would give some more space, right? And someone else could step into this space and give their idea. For leaders, that's very difficult. For fathers and mothers, that's very difficult. We have so much opinions, right? Because we know better. We are older, we are wiser, maybe we have more education. That's the idea that we have. So It's not true. It's not true. If we postpone judgment, someone else can be more clever than we. That's a bit painful for our egos, right? But for the team or for the genuine and the collective effort, it might be better if someone else comes with the answer, right? It's not us. It would be a burden. So I talk to a lot of CEOs. I have been consulting for 20 years in numerous corporate settings. And the first thing that a lot of CEOs and managers tell me, they say, these people are not moving the way I want them. And that's because they are judging the actions of the coworkers and of the teams. And of course, if you press the remote control button, being a CEO, saying this is the way you have to move, what is happening in the group? People are not moving, right? People are not moving. They pretend. As long as the boss is around, they pretend to be good. But the minute the boss goes away, what happens? They go about their own ideas and stuff, right, Shabir? We already talked about it, huh? Yeah, they just go back to their own pace. And the boss has the illusion that they are agreeing to that direction. But it's not working. It's not working. So that's why postponing judgment creates more safety. And because if you are judged, you're not feeling safe, right? If you're judged, if someone judges you. If I ask for it, there's something else. Maybe I would ask Kazi, saying, Kazi bhai, would you please give me some feedback on my presentation? That I would be open for it, right? And he would, of course, be really lovely in his feedback. But he would still, as a professional peer, he would give me feedback. If he would give it to me while I didn't ask for it, that's also very difficult, right? That's another thing that we tend to do a lot. We're not listening, we're advising. So listening without advice or giving feedback without advice and only compliments, you see, that's the second thing. The first thing is postpone your judgment. And the second thing is only give compliments with no advice hidden in it. That's also very strong. So we could all practice. So after this seminar, after this session, the first person that we would meet, I think that would be a very cool assignment for all of us, including me. So the first human that we would meet, we would give them a compliment. And we would not give any advice. So maybe I would go out of my office here, talk and see one of the people on the hallway, and I would say, I love the way you shine your eyes. Or I would say, I'm proud of you, how you run your business. That's amazing what happens. A lot of people would say, why, what? See, to receive a compliment is also very difficult, but that's not our problem, that's theirs. That's not my case, you know? That's theirs. But to practice, to postpone your judgment, and the other one is given a compliment without any advice hidden. Because we so much want to, how would you say that? Show off our knowledge, right? We all want to do that. We all want to show off our knowledge. So give away all the advices that we think we have. And the best place to give advice, you know where that is? The best place you can give advice? That's in the bathroom mirror. Saying in the bathroom mirror, dear Ineke, you have to lose some weight. Or dear Ineke, you have to smile a bit more. You know, that's the best place to give any advice. Or when someone else asks you for it, because that's also the best place to give advice. I sometimes feel so much advice. When I'm interacting with people, I can really feel a lot of advices coming up, you know. They're there because we have a lot of experience. You all have that, right? If you talk to people, we immediately feel, oh, we could add something to that life. You know, we have that, huh? We as coaches and trainers and facilitators, we have that, right? There's no one of us thinking we don't have any. We have it. So there's one way to give yourself a little space, because we can fall in the pitfall of giving it. So what I do is the following. I say, so maybe Kazi is working and doing something, and I think I have an advice for him. Then I would say, Kazi, bye. I'm feeling an advice coming up. Do you want it? And then
No.
No, exactly. And what would I do? I would say, okay, that's fine.
No.
This is the coolest thing. I'm doing that with people. So we have a number of really cool insights. So we have postpone your judgment. So don't have an opinion or postpone it. That's one. The other one is, if you give a compliment, don't put any advice in it. And the only place where you can give any advice is in the bathroom mirror. All right? The third one is remote controls, they don't work towards people. Remote controls work towards machines. Very good. And if they don't, you need to change the battery. That's the thing. It's very easy. And if you do these little things, and these are ingredients of the jump movement method that we are spreading over the world, there's a lot of space coming. And then the travel from our heads to our heart can start. And then there's connection. And that power, that's undescribable. I don't know even if that's a good English word. It's undescribable. Is that a good word? Well, anyway, you feel what I mean. Impactful. It has so big impact. And that's why I am so much in love with the people of Bangladesh at this point, because we are doing it together. We are traveling from there to there. And I made so many nice friends. And I just miss you guys, because I should have been there now. I should have. But Corona and COVID blocked us. But we are connecting on a daily basis. So I'm really happy by that. So postpone your judgment, give advice to the bathroom mirror, and give a compliment without advice. I thank you so much for your time, for your love, and for your energy. And stay healthy and stay safe, okay? Till we meet again.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yes, it's wonderful. And to all, can we just say advance, after just a couple of hours in a case birthday, so can we all say together happy birthday to Ineke? So together, can we say all, just in advance,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Ineke. Happy birthday to you.
So
I love you. Thank you. Oh, my heart! I'm crying.
and I'm sure everybody watching on the Facebook, they would love to extend the love, the heart and mind connections from here to there. And how can we actually postpone the judgment if we do not understand the perspective? So we thought we must understand the perspective. Hang on a second. To understand the perspective, we're also going to begin a new beginning. It's today is the new beginning, and from tomorrow we are going to begin another perspective. For Bangladesh, the largest ever career summit in Bangladesh, 8-day long, and designed and curated specifically for youths, young leaders, and also the professionals. Those are watching right now, you'd be amazed to know right now we have 80 speakers from all over the world. That includes the Harvard professor to Bangladesh's University of Dhaka professor, to the vice chancellors, to CEOs, CFOs, the industry leaders, the dignitaries, you name, includes the Harvard student as well. So this is going to be a fascinating one. I think the 8-day long, we are actually launching in 100 universities, our next gender campaign, and our objective is how we can help them to understand the perspective of ours, of the industries, of the organizations, of the peoples, the leaders. So that's what we also needed to postpone the judgment. And in order to understand this, in this section, we got somebody who was going to bring the perspective for all of us why organizations are not able to change fast, why organizations failing forward, not moving forwards in majority of the time, and how can we help them to create the culture values by understanding the perspective. And in this subject matter, we didn't have anyone better than Shabbir Ali Bhai, who is having the multicultural experience, who's going to talk about the culture inside the organizations, what's the real perspective, and how a coach can help to change the, in a case, most favorite thing, postpone your judgment. Let's understand the perspective from a man who is having more than 30 years of real perspective. So please help me to welcome M. Shabbir Ali in front of us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kamrul Bhai. Can you hear me clearly?
Ji Shabbir Bhai, absolutely.
Okay, great. First of all, I'd like to convey my thanks to CKH Network, Kamrul Hasan Network, for organizing such an excellent coaching session. I mean, many of us, we know who all are working with the people management or organizational management. Yes, we are known with this terminology coaching, but for the first level management professional or the mid-level management professional, the importance of coaching is very much important, and I'm sure that they have got very good insight from the briefing of Dr. Peter Chee. And I myself, I'm also enlightened, and I have enriched my knowledge regarding coaching, because I have had little idea of learning about coaching from University of California, Davis. 2 years back, I did a short course, and from that distant course, I learned about coaching. But today, my learning got more enriched with the briefing of Dr. Peter Chee. Thanks a lot to you. We really learned, and I would like to convey my thanks to Kazi Bhai, who is really a great trainer and also a coach in Bangladesh, and he's also helping many organizations in getting their issues solved. And he is also a very favorite trainer and a coach as well. And Kazi Bhai also gave us very good insight about today's topics, and really thank you very much, Kazi Bhai. And well, Emeka, this is my first opportunity to participate with you in a session, and really the power of connection. This is really excellent, and really we are really grateful for having you with us in this excellent session. I'd like to take you all, including the speaker and the audiences of today, about some of the practical insights of what is happening in Bangladesh. First of all, I would like to say the problem. What we have. If we can identify the problem, in that case we can go and solve the problem. We have got very less problem, many problem. First problem is our culture. As Kazi Bhai said, that in MNC organization, it is inculcated as a culture. Coaching as a culture. Each and every MNC I have had working experience with. First joint venture company, Kafco in Bangladesh. It's a Japanese joint venture. So I have seen, yes, coaching culture is there to some extent, they practice. Then I have had working experience with Novartis, a global company. I have seen, yes, coaching culture is there. From the day one, I have seen how the training and the coaching plays vital role there. And thereafter, I have traveled through the Bangladeshi organization and the MNC. I have worked in oil and gas, Santos, an Australian company. I have seen the importance of coaching and the role of coaching, how it helps the organization moving forward. And yes, I have worked with three large group of companies in Bangladesh, AB Bank, then DBL Group, and currently I'm working with City Group. The issue, we have high power distance culture. We have very high power distance culture. Everything is decided on the top, and the people in the bottom, they are executing. So this is one of our big problem, the high power culture. This is regional culture. If you say the Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, in all these areas, this high power culture prevailing in most of the organization. So we have to come out. with the help of the briefing of Dr. Peter Chee and others, I mean, definitely this learning will help us to come out from this problem. And the second problem we have, I will talk about only these two problems, that is crazy busy syndrome. Crazy busy syndrome. This is like, wherever I have worked, I have seen that the managers are always busy in meeting their, business result. They are always focused on target. They are always focused on goals. But they need to understand, I mean, time has come, because the result and the goals, these are not his issue. It should be the issue of the people. So they should more focus on building people. So if you want to build people, in that case, you have to practice coaching. There's no other alternative other than coaching. Because if we practice coaching, if we build our people will bring result. No doubt about it. So we have to be people focused. So coaching will help us, and we will try to inculcate the coaching as a culture in our organization. That should be the motto of our management professional and the entrepreneur and the stakeholders, whoever thinking about the development of organization, development of people. So this, keeping in view of these two problems, now I will take you through about some of my understanding about coaching, how coaching can help in an organization in Bangladesh. I would say that if you want to bring exponential growth, you have to think about people's excellence. Because exponential growth, this is something like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, you grow in this way. That is what is exponential growth, my understanding. So if you want to get growth, in that case, you have to think about people. As I said earlier, that if you bring people excellence, they will give you the growth. So how to bring the people excellence? There are some aspects. Dr. Peter Chee has well covered in his presentation, but still I'm reiterating all those. There are 3 points about people excellence. First of all, employee engagement, which is very important. The first requirement in the organization is employee engagement. You have to engage your people properly. Because if you do not engage people, if you do not make them understand what is their role, what they are going to do, how they are going to do, what are the organizational policies, what are the procedures, what is the culture of the organization, all these are, you can do it by engaging people. So once you engage people, in that case, people start understanding their role, that what I am supposed to do. So in the initial days of the onboarding process, when we start the onboarding process in an organization, so we should focus on engaging people more and more. Yes, the coach, like every manager, I must say that every manager is coach. They are coach in the organization. So the manager has got very vital role in engaging their people in the organization, in the workplace. Second thing I will focus on, enablement. The enablement for bringing the people excellence. I mean, a person when he or she has joined the workplace, the first challenges they face is no one is going to teach them. No one is going to show them how to do, what to do, or no one is going to, this is what is the usually practices in a high power distance culture. So what happens, I mean, everyone expects that you have joined, fine. I'm talking about the national companies, not MNCs. You have joined, so you get to learn, you get to get the pain, and you get to learn yourself. You invest your time. So this is a very crucial stage when an excellent, meritorious candidate who has joined an organization, he faces problem in getting adapted with the organization. So enablement, like tools are needed, computer needed, desktop needed, then the mobile phone, and as well as the support of the co-workers and the colleagues. So this enablement stage, whatever problem they are facing, coaches should be there to help them out, because the coaches, they will show them what are the obstacles they are facing and how to overcome all those obstacles. So this will help them to go in deep in the organization, at least the way people expect that they have an understanding that in an unknown environment, how I'm going to perform, what I'm going to do, if I'm going to face a problem, who is going to help me out. So this is no one other than the coach, the manager. the manager and the supervisor will help them. That is what is expected. And the third point I will highlight on, that is empowerment. As Dr. Peter Chee was talking about the situational thing, situational leadership thing, empowerment comes up. I mean, everyone joined in an organization with the expectation that today I'm a learner, but after some day I will start participating in the activities, team activities, and someday I will become a boss, and I will do something of my own, at my own. So at the initial days, when people get engaged, the leader in the situational leadership model, the leader plays a vital role in helping the employee understand what is his role, how he has to do, what he is to do, and all the directions. And then gradually, whenever the employee moves to the second stage, I mean, gradually the leader starts asking him that, what do you think? And by asking this question, leader engages him in participating in the decision making. And at some point of time, when the leader sees that, yes, the employee is capable of handling issues, then the leader says that you deal it. I will help you if need be. I will be there. Otherwise, you deal the issues. That is what is the empowerment. So all these three things, engagement, enablement, and empowerment, if we, the manager in the organization, if we can do with the help of coaching tools and techniques and processes, following all those, in that case, definitely we will get the people excellence. And once we get the people excellence, business excellence would be easier, no doubt about this. This is all these I have seen from my experience that actually it really works. And now I will focus on two metaphors. One is, if we consider the organization as a garden, and if we consider the coach as a gardener, I think our understanding about a need for coaching or the importance of coaching will be much easier. Because in a garden, what we see, if we start a garden, in that case, we all have a vision that what we want to achieve from this garden. So that is what is the similar thing like organization. And then we need to prioritize what are the issues we have in the garden. I mean, how I'm going to make my garden a beautiful one. And then definitely you need environment. So environment in a garden, soil, water, light, all these are the factors of the environment. But in an organization, yes, there are people. There are other issues. We are the society and the country we are living in. So all these things has to be taken into consideration. Then in a garden, what we think, what we reap, the way we sow. So naturally we have to proceed accordingly. We have to assess our garden's requirement. So in an organization, continuously, if we work on assessing that what are actually issues in the organization, like we conduct exit interviews in the organization. Instead, if we start conducting retained interviews in the organization, if we start talking with people throughout the whole year, in that case, people will never come and tell you that I'm here to give you the exit interview. Rather, they will be more interested that, yes, somebody is at least asking us what are our issues. So we have to continuously assess. And in the garden, we have issues like we have to constantly tending and nurturing the garden, So similarly, in the organization, we need to do the same thing we need to do. And yes, in a garden, we need to build our fence around the garden. It means what? We have to remain focused. So in an organization, if we remain focused towards cultural compliance, if we remain focused towards diversity compliance, in that case, I think that is what is our good fencing in the organization. Because culture is creating your fencing in the organization. That creates your identity. And we have to practice trust. There is no other alternative. So the coaches can help us in the organization. I mean, how to practice trust and build trust relationship, which is very much important for achieving people excellence in an organization. And yes, we will have issues. We have to deal with the issues. There are a lot of complaints. There are a lot of issues. And we have to address all those. I mean, listening culture. The managers, with their coaching, expertise, they have to listen and they have to address people issues. If we remain open, I have seen most of the problems are solved if we remain open, at least for listening the issues of the people. And then, yes, we can reap our harvest. no doubt about it. All these, I mean, the way I've shared you the garden metaphor and the gardener role as a coach. So in the organization, I'm sure that I'm confident that whatever learning we had today and onwards, we will have more learning about coaching. And coaching definitely will help us, help Bangladesh one day to come out as a successful country. And in an organization, the role of the coaches will be more and more. I'm sure that who all are participating today, the entry level executives, the mid level executives, and the senior level executives, if we all understand the importance of coaching, in that case, we should start practicing coaching for every day in dealing with issues in the organization. We should more and more focus on proceeding with coaching. I understand one thing, or all of you will agree with me, that who all are there in the organization, they are the coach. Coach is none. So we have also learned that coach require coach. Today, I mean, Dr. Peter Chee said, and that's really very interesting. So those managers, those coaches needs training. Those coaches require a master coach. So we will focus on that. We all should focus on that how we will train up our coaches, in-house coaches, so that they can establish the culture in the organization. Coaching as a culture, we should establish this. We should take up this, oath from today's seminar, and we the managers, I mean those who are considering themselves that we are busy with our result, we are busy with our figures, we should, from today onwards, we should focus on our people. Let's start building our people. Our people will bring our excellence, and once people excellence is there, organizational excellence will be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shabbir Ali Bhai, who is the director, Citigroup, one of the largest FMCG company in Bangladesh, and also he is the president of the country's only human resources club in Bangladesh. So it's a flagship HR club in Bangladesh, and spearheading hundreds of HR leaders in a purposeful way. And as you said, what we reap, we sow. And that is what you also said. If we build our people, people will build us, and they will bring the result. And yes, exactly. What if we can build our people in right way? As Tony Robbins, he said, it is the Tony Robbins quote that's really attracted me and my attention. I think all of you, might agree. He said that training would give us maximum 18% of the result if there is no other process attached to the training. Because the follow-up and the measurement, and also the feedback, and also the reinforcing the learnings what has been imparted through the lessons of the training. So if it is not being done, training as much, it could do 18%. That's what Tony Robbins said. And then he said, well, if with the training, if we can attach the coaching to follow up, to impart, to practice, and create the culture, change the values and behavior, it can bring up to 88% of the result. So training plus coaching. That's what Tony Robbins, he said that he has learned out of his entire life's experience. So we are investing in organizations, people development, as Shabbir Ali Bhai was saying, and rightly. And how can we reap the real result? And that is through developing purposeful leader inside the organization who can create the culture, who can build the leaders, who can create the coaching culture. In fact, implementing the training, how trainers are teaching inside the sessions, how to be implemented. I think the organization's coach, purposeful leader, can play a vital role to bring the result. I mean, that Shabbir Ali Bhai was saying, what we reap, we sow, and that is the trust. End of the day. So without further delay, the man who is actually researching the purposefulness, creating the purposeful organizations, the leaders, in his years and years of study and years of meticulous study, despite he is so busy with this organization, developing the people leader, he's also doing this rigorous research. So we want to hear from him. That's why we kept the diamond at the end as well, so that we can harvest. We can harvest, the output up to this session as well. So please help us to welcome Ranjan De Silva to present how to create purposeful leaders. Bangladesh leadership.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's such a pleasure and privilege to be here amongst such an august panel. Peter, it was great meeting you about a year ago in Sri Lanka when you spoke at the Rotary Convention. Kazi, fantastic. I met you about 20 years ago. We had lots of conversations and some type of collaboration. Ineka, such a pleasure meeting you in Bangladesh last year. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Shabir face to face, but we already had a conversation, and I'm really earnestly looking forward to meeting you. And finally, congratulations, Kamrul Bhai, for this amazing session. You always cease us to surprise me pleasantly at the level of thinking you have and the level of relevance in everything you do. So it's so blessed to have found you about 3 years ago and to be working with you in what we do. So all the speakers have told a lot about why coaching is important to organizations, and some aspect of how to coach, the current state of coaching in this part of the world. So I'm going to go directly into the topic of purposeful coaching. Now, the notion of purpose is quite complex. I found purpose and the notion of purpose about 25 years ago. And then I realized that there was something which I was missing in my life. And very soon, I started using purposefulness in my leadership development practice, which include the diagnostics, coaching, and also helping organizations to create cultures which enable them to perform in the best possible manner, to be the best versions they can be. About 4 years ago, as Kamrul Bhai earlier said, I started studying, researching into the notion of purpose. 4 years later, I think I'm more confused about this notion of purpose than what I was ever before, because it is quite a complex subject area. So let me try to break up the two areas and try to explain to you purposeful coaching from the context of a few mindsets a purposeful coach needs to have. Because this is such a big challenge you have given me to try and finish this in 15 minutes. Like, Mark Twain once said, I wrote a long letter because I didn't have time to write a short one. I wrote a long one because to write a long letter, yeah, fine. Short one means you have to think and think and think. How do I get to the point? So you put me in a lot of trouble, and I could have asked for more time. But let me do my best. Let me do my best. I will have so many opportunities to come. So the first mindset of coaching, and again, some of you alluded that in a different way. There is no right answer. And what do you mean by this? For example, what worked for me may not work for Peter or Kazibai or Ineka or Shabir, because all of you had your own answers. My answers wouldn't work for anyone because it would have happened in a different era, a different culture, a different context, and also with different people who have different mindsets and different education, and down to DNA. We are so different. So it's almost crazy to try and say, okay, this is the answer. So there's no right answers. So what does the coach do? And when I sometimes start talking about this aspect, saying no right answers, people get a little worried. Oh, we paid you a lot of money. Now can I have a refund? Okay, you're not going to give us answers. So we said, okay, we will try to help you find your own answers, find what's relevant for you. Now, very interestingly, if there's no right answers, there's no wrong answers. Because if each of us have different answers, I might come with one idea, and Kasibhai might say, no, you're wrong. This is the correct idea. And I might say, no, Kasibhai, I am right. You're wrong. Now what happens? We go into conflict. And then we start playing a different game, a game called ego, trying to prove that I'm right, you're wrong. By the word ego stands for edging growth out. If you have an ego, you don't grow. And if you're very religious, you can even say it's edging God out. Okay. When we have an ego, we try to be bigger than God. And Shabir Bhai talked about this power structures and power dynamics. And I suppose this is one aspect we need to get out. And when we start, stop saying, imagine the quality of conversations people will start having if I stop saying you're wrong, but if I say that's interesting, that's so different. Can I know your point of view? I never heard that. And imagine the knowledge enhancement, the perspectives, the creativity, the innovation, which can start happening when you just stop saying you're wrong. That's interesting. Beautiful families, couples, teams, countries, politicians. Just say what happens in the parliament. Everyone tries to prove that everyone else is wrong, right? And your energy goes into that. Can someone just stop and say, okay, that's interesting, tell me more. So that's the first mindset which a coach needs to have, I suppose, and a leader and perhaps any human being. And let me narrate a short story to illustrate this point. Once there was an art class, and the teacher, and these of little kids, and the teacher goes to the class and tells all the children to draw the sky, grass, and a tree. Now, one child in particular drew the sky in yellow, grass in black, and the tree in gray. And the teacher thought, oh my God, this child must be brain retarded, mentally challenged. Something is wrong with this child. Who would put such colors when I asked for natural colors? Now, this child was sent to a class for mentally challenged children. And fortunately, such classes have the most loving and caring and kind teachers. So there was this teacher whose name was Miss Hunt. She was 350 pounds of pure love. And she would hug the children who would disappear layer by layer by layer. And when they get to the core, they would do anything for this lady or suffocate and die. And she asked an amazing question. She said, can you tell me, child, why did you put those colors? And the child gave the most beguiling answer. The child said, the teacher did not tell me what time of the day it was. So what I remembered is what I see when I wake up in the morning to go to school. And when I open the window, I see the sky a splash of yellow. And as it's still dark, the grass is black. And the tree is a shade of gray. And who is the idiot and who is the genius here? So the question to you, ladies and gentlemen, listening is, there's no right answer. Sky is not always blue. There can be all colors and shades, and the grass is not always green. And the moment you start trying to prove that you are right and someone else is wrong, we have challenges. And the second thing about coaching is about caring for people. Care for each other. Don't judge each other. We heard a lot about judging. I would even go one more step, Ineka, saying not even postpone judgment. Don't judge. You might want to postpone. Yeah, that's the first step. But can we come to a level that we stop judging? Because when you stop judging, you define yourself. When you start judging, you define yourself. When you start judging, you are trying to show that I am more superior to you. And when someone feels that you are being judged, they don't open up. They just try to close. Now, this is a big challenge because leaders are supposed to evaluate people. Leaders are supposed to evaluate. Now, judging and evaluation is different. Evaluate is synonymous with the word elevate. You evaluate with the intention of elevating someone to their highest potential, their highest purpose. So when you start judging, people don't own up. And during my work in the last 20 odd years, I took 2 sabbaticals to go and work as a CEO. So one of those jobs were to work as the CEO of the Agora supermarket chain for 3 years. And then I also worked as the CEO for Apollo Hospital, Dhaka. Of course, the name has changed now. Now, in those 2 assignments, one of the things I did all the time was coach. One of the things I did all the time was coach. Now, I'm not a doctor to go and run a hospital, but with a coaching mindset, you could do that. Okay, with a coaching mindset. When I took over these companies, I don't know which, I'm not going to tell which one. One of the 2 said, the entire management committee is hopeless. First thing you need to do is fire them and bring a new team in. Otherwise, you can't run this place. I started listening to everyone, coached everyone, and understood what their issues are, and guided them on, and again asked them, what do you think we should do? Guided them to go and talk to each other, understand, listen. And very soon people were talking to each other, understanding, appreciating the diversity. Diversity is beautiful. We have to appreciate the diversity, the difference. And I must say that when I left that organization, the entire management committee was still there, and organization had produced some amazing results. And one of the things I said is that for 364 days of the year, I am going to be your friend. I am going to talk to you, listen to you, and help you by coaching you to do your best. I want to be the best. And the 365th day, I have to sit and do an evaluation and tell how you have performed. But your 365th day will also be a fantastic day if you had used the earlier 364 days. You'll get some amazing results there too. So it is an interesting thing. For me, a coaching culture is the CEO leads their C-level, the C-level coaches the next level, and they coach the next level. And we have, when we create a coaching culture, we keep cascading it down until the last line manager, last leader, last supervisor. And there's so many conversations happening. And of course, there are various forms of coaching. Some people say when they're asked to go for coaching, they say, no, I don't need coaching. There's nothing wrong with me. Some people think, coaching is needed for if you're something wrong. Okay. And we would say, but why does Tiger Woods have a coach? Why does Agassi have a coach? Why does Peter Chee have a coach, I can say now? And why does, why? They are the best, right? Why does Sakib have a coach and all the cricketers? And then also sometimes we have, for some people who have a huge ego, we have a process called coaching in conversations. We just go out for coffee and have a conversation, but unknowing to the other person, we're actually doing a coaching session. We are not even calling it coaching. Just have a conversation, ask questions, see how it goes. But in our mind, we are following the GROW model or the SIGA model or the RACER model, whatever the model. There are loads of such coaching models available. So we'll use some of it and do some coaching as the process goes on. So based on that, I would like to talk a little bit about purpose and purposefulness. I know Rashid Bhai is doing slides. You can now stop slides. I just thought of putting a few, but I thought that's not needed anymore. Okay, so what is a purpose? Have you ever asked yourself, why are you in this planet? Why are you in this world? Some people say, it happened. I'm here, so I have to live it out. Not my fault. I'm that little drop which made it. Anyway, but at the end of it, there's a bigger reason. The higher powers, the almighty, the beingness, the universe puts us down on this earth to be of something bigger in this world, to be of service to this planet, to be a part of the process of life. I'm sure we'll all agree that life forms are all connected. Now, a mango tree doesn't try to produce oranges. Mango tree produces mangoes. A honeybee doesn't try to go and catch fish like a kingfisher. A honeybee would go pollinate. If you take a tree in a rainforest, I've been in Malaysia to the Datai, beautiful rainforest, or in Sri Lanka places we have here. In a rainforest, you don't have two trees fighting with each other. Would one tree say, why are you growing your branch there? That is my space. Get out of the way. So you wouldn't have trees fighting with each other. They all coexist and they give each other shade and support and everything, and even fertilizer and minerals to grow. So how do we grow? Now, we human beings are totally complicated. Okay, all other than human beings know what their purpose is, and they would live a purposeful life and do what's purposeful. But we are born to be purposeful, be of service to this world. Maybe we are born to be an actor or a sportsman or a scientist or a dancer, artist. But your mother would say, or father would say, no. Being an artist is not a good job. Don't disgrace the family. All our family members have been doctors, so you better be a doctor. But mom, I don't like. No, we will teach you. Or it could be society who pushes us to, there are standard jobs which are supposed to be good. So you're doing things for other people's benefit. Go to take a job which is, acceptable. But by whose standard? Almighty has set our standard, and we need to listen to Almighty. So being purposeful is listening to what our real passion is. So in order to find your purpose, we have some processes, but let me simply give you 4 questions to ask yourself. And if you really want to go deep into it, go to my blog, ranjandesilva.blog. You can have loads of material on how to find your purpose. As I said, I'm doing a PhD in this and totally complicated about it as well, but I keep writing still. So the questions are this. First of all, ask yourself, what makes me most alive in this world? What kind of work? Like right now, I'm feeling so energetic and live. I feel I'm like jumping into your computers. What makes you feel most alive? And I think I found it kind of. So what kind of work? What kind of interactions makes you feel alive? Second question is, what have been your struggles in this world? What have you struggled in? Is it a financial struggle, a relationship struggle? Is it a health struggle? And I suppose the Almighty gives us those struggles to sort of learn a particular skill so that we are fit to go and share that knowledge with others who are having similar struggles. So that can be a hint for your purpose. And thirdly, what concerns you about your world? What concerns you about your world? Is it the environment? Is it discrimination? Is it poverty? We have great examples like Professor Yunus and the late Sir Abed. I mean, their purpose was something, they were worried about, poverty and all these people who go and, discriminate. What worries you? I'm sure when you look at the news or the newspapers, there are so many articles, but your eyes might be going to one, oh, this issue is there. Again, this issue is there. Again, people are polluting the environment. What concerns you? And fourthly, maybe a very slightly lesser important one is what can help you make a living. But I believe the first 3 might actually give you what can make you make a living. But if you can find something in your life which you feel joyous and awaken, it's connected to the struggles and what you have learned, it's connected to what concerns you. And finally, if you can earn a living, I suppose that's your purpose. So for me, I believe I'm in a purposeful work, because my purpose, now that I'm talking about purpose, let me share my purpose. So my purpose is to inspire others to be purposeful based on their own realities, beliefs, values, and methods that evolve. Because each person is different. There's no right answer. So I would get people to think and say, okay, what's your reality? What's your belief? I'm not going, this purposeful is not about changing your belief. What are your values? Okay, let's bring that to the table. And what methods do you use? Do you use reflection or meditation? Do you go for walks? Do you study? What is your method? And then we say, okay, now based on that, let's start asking these questions. And as you ask the questions, the beliefs might adjust a bit, values might adjust, methods might adjust, and by doing that, your reality starts getting adjusted as well. And that's for me purposefulness. So I am here in this world, and right now that's what I'm doing to help people be purposeful. For me, purposeful is about, if you're able to make your vocation your vacation, that's purposefulness. Can you make your vocation your vacation? For me, when I get up and go to work, I'm going on holiday because it's so much fun and it's energetic, and I'm helping people to, when people come to my sessions and become purposeful, I get calls from their wives and husbands saying, thank you. My husband is more caring now. My wife is, looking after my needs. My children are listening to me better. And if I can create happy families, and then bosses call and say, my team is much more productive and energetic because they are living a purpose. So that's what I do. And therefore, I bring this concept into coaching. So when I coach, it's about helping team members to find my coaches to find their purpose. And how do you align that with the organization purpose? We do strategy work for organizations, which is also finding the organization's purpose. And then what are the values of the organizations? Then we help leaders to find their purpose. And if they're not in their purposeful areas, to move around to something which is more in line. And then we help leaders to think about their team members and say, okay, what's your purpose of your team members? First, help them to find their purpose, not by telling them, but by asking them through a coaching process. And then after you find the purpose, can you see those shining eyes in your team members when you talk about a particular topic? And then put them into that arena. I have found that when someone is in a purposeful arena, you don't have to motivate them. They'll wake up in the morning wanting to go to work. How many of you wake up saying, wow, today is a working day, can't wait to get to work? Oh, there we are. We got a few in the screen who does that, right? Not everyone. But can you create situations where people say, wow, can't go to work? There are two types of people. Some people get up and say, good morning, God. Thank you for the day. And some others will say, good God morning, and they go back to sleep. So what are you? Have you got the TGIF syndrome? What's TGIF? Thank God it's Friday. Do we wait for the weekend? Or do you wait for Monday morning or Sunday morning based on where you are? So the whole idea of purposefulness is creating those environments where people enjoy coming to work in the morning, putting people in the right place, getting teams to work with each other, finding out ways of resolving conflicts. When people have different ideas, they might start saying you're wrong. But how can we teach them to say that's interesting, so that you have better ideas? And I'm sure Peter will agree with me, to have innovation, you need to have this kind of thinking in organizations. So that's basically broadly what purposefulness is. And I just wish I had more time, but I would love to indulge a bit, and that is to recite a poem. I know I keep doing this all the time, and one of these days someone might ban poetry. But let me go with one of my favorites. This is one of my new poems, which I really love. So let me, and I'm sure some of you may not have even heard. So the name of this poem is called Little Cloud, The Little Cloud, by Eric Carle. Now, when I talk about the little cloud, it can be you who is the little cloud. It can be your child, your team member, anyone you care and love, and that's the little cloud. And it goes this way. In your lifetime, there will be answers that no one really knows but you. So remember, because the world will make every attempt to define the truth for you. And the last thing you want is the shape you take to be a product of their stories passing through. They don't want white, they want blue. They don't want shade, they want crystal clear. But little cloud, that's not you. In fact, you're above all that. The moment you turn away from who you are and you were meant to be, well, that's where the very moment that you become indistinguishable from life underneath. Look, I don't mean to scare you, but I'm being sincere. You can't fly to the sun if you're held down by fear. And that pressure, it builds up. It precipitates fear. And And you all can always recover that, those people who fell down, you can recover. But don't leave life undiscovered year after year. See, whether you realize it or not, little cloud, you're on top of the world. So know that you are. You mean, look, you fly around the sun and the moon and the stars. You take a simple canvas and convert it to art. You think that's nothing, little cloud? Then I don't know where to start. See, life is better every day because you're here. Without you, there will be no ocean, no boats, no captains to steer, no sunrise and collages to watch and revere. You turn rays of light to pink and teal chandelier. If you think that's nothing, little cloud, I beg of you, let the logic reappear. There's no limitation to what you can be. So keep your eyes on the spot where the sky meets the sea. And that, little cloud, is where life truly begins. And little cloud, little by little, you will start to believe. So thank you so much. I just love this poem, and such a pleasure to be with you and share this moment with you. Thank you. And looking forward to some questions. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so. As I said, I think something we have to keep for at the end, for as a gold. I'm sure that those who are watching right now, you would agree that the more I watch and I listen from Ranjan, the more purposeful I become, and that really gave me the courage and confidence in me in my earlier career as a coach. Like now, I could think of like how could we actually create purposeful leader. Now my purpose become that how can I actually help hundreds, then I thought thousands, then I thought okay, maybe million. Then I realized no, in Bangladesh we have 180 millions of population. If I say 100 million, it's not enough because we have 180 millions here. Then I got the courage and confidence by meeting people like Ranjan, Ineke, and others, who are here, Dr. Peter Chee, Kaji Bhai. Then I thought, okay, it should be thousands of millions of people's life. And that's what my purpose has become. And that's why I'm glued to, days and nights, with televisions and screens like, the Facebooks with people, with people, because that's my purpose is actually creating, impacting thousands of millions of people's life, because I believe the coach can change people's life going this direction, and then slowly 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and in a year the coach can make a difference just like this. So this is the potential everybody missing, irrespective of age, sex, color, belief, faith, positions, irrespective. So everyone has a potential, and my life has become as such today because of the coach. I got coached by some beautiful coaches, and even today, and nobody knows who my coaches are, right? But I'm a crazy learner. I'm a passionate learner too. So the things I do today is because of the coaching. It's not there is no magic behind it. It's because of the coaching, because the coaches challenged me, as I told. Like now I can think of how can I create impact thousands of million, and I say it with humbly, and this has become a passion. This has become my monomaniacal focus, and nobody nobody can actually shaken me, because that's the faith I believe, and that's why together we're talking, and now we're coming across so many purposeful strong leader like all of you today. So Dr. Peter Chee, thank you. I think we took so much of time, but I think it's worth now is open question. Let's stay a bit for question and answer. I'm asking and opening the floor for all of you for the questions, and anyone can ask question towards anybody. So let's have the Q&A open to the question. So if any of you wants to ask question to anybody and the audience, please, this is your chance to ask questions. Peter Chee is here, Kaji Bhai is here, Ineka is here, Shabbi Bhai is here, Ranjan De Silva is here. Anybody, anyone, anything. Open floor.
Usually the first question is difficult. So can I make the first question to
Oh,
Peter?
yes, of course. Hello, Dr. Peter. Where are you? Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, it's like giving others time to, come up with questions. I was moved by your ACBC Sunrise Eureka beach coaching. That's very unique. And while I'm unable to be there physically, or many of my Bangladeshi and other friends, how can you do a similar thing with you online? You mentioned, but I think with CKH network, if you could, if CKH network could moderate here somehow, time and all that, we would love to join at your coaching. What is your response to that? How best to,
Well,
and it
yeah.
can be every month.
So
It doesn't have to be only once.
yeah. So I'm really flexible. I do many different types of coaching. Sunrise Eureka Beach coaching is one. I do coaching over golf. We can play golf together. Last weekend I was coaching senior vice president, 2 hours playing golf. I do champagne coaching, drink champagne and coach. Fine dining coaching. I also do toilet coaching. Sometimes I meet people in the toilet and I just coach them within a few minutes, and they feel uplifted. So Sunrise Eureka Beach coaching can be done live, together, face to face on the beach, or it can be done virtually.
Yes.
So, for example, I was coaching the CEO of Siemens. He wanted to come and meet me, but because of the COVID, he couldn't come. So then I said, hey, why don't we just do on WhatsApp? So we made a WhatsApp call, and I just put on a camera. He can see me, I can see him. I show him the sunrise, so he feels like he's walking with me, and we still did the coaching. And after a few sessions of coaching, he said, wow, this Sunrise Eureka Beach coaching is now done online. We call it Corona coaching. And he said, this is from the CEO of Siemens, yeah. He said this exceeded his expectation of coaching, so he's so happy. So we haven't met each other. We have done coaching using just WhatsApp. So that is another version of Sunrise Eureka Beach coaching, WhatsApp Corona. So that's possible, no problem.
I heard the word volunteer, capital V, or is it highly paid coaching? That's the key word.
You have the option to pay, and if you do not have the means or the capability to pay, then just have to wait for my available slot in my schedule on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and I volunteer. So I do both. I volunteer some and I get engaged some. So I do a lot of volunteer work. Yes, it's my passion. So I just love doing it. So I do it out of love, not for the money.
Thank you. So we will capture some of your time. We've got some questions, and Mr. Reza Rahman, what if we cannot keep the purpose for long? What if we cannot keep the purpose for long? I guess the question directing towards Ranjan.
Yeah, I saw that already. So let me try to answer this. First of all, purpose is not a goal. Right? It's not a goal. It's not something you try to keep and try to achieve. Purpose means reason. Why? What is the reason you are in this world? So it's nothing about keeping the purpose. It's about searching for the purpose. It's about looking for it, questing it. And the first time you engage with purpose, you will not have the final purpose. It's just a glimpse. It's like opening a window. You have a little bit of sunshine coming in. That's the beginnings. And then as you start living purposefully, because once you start thinking, okay, this could be my purpose, you'll be reading certain different things, you'll be exercising, you'll be meditating, you'll be praying, your life starts to change. And then you get new and new insights. Your conversations will be different. The people you meet are different. You'll be attending more of such sessions like this. And that will get clearer and clearer. So it's a reflective process. And for me, I can still tell you that after 25 years, every month I relook at my purpose and revise it. And my gut feeling is even on my deathbed, I may not know my purpose. But the more I find a little bit of more clarity, I get happier, I get more successful. So it's a journey. So it's not about trying to hold on to it. You go looking for it and then start adjusting the way you live based on the purpose you keep finding. That's why I call it an evolving purpose. The purpose is evolving. Okay, so that's my answer. I hope that's
Thank you.
helpful.
Yeah, for more detail, I think you could just simply go to the Ranjan De Silva blog. So
Ranjan De Silva .blog.
.blog. So you could have more a purposeful journey towards a series. I think 20, 30, 40th series. We got some good question. What is the main difference between coaching and mentoring? I guess Dr. Chee, if you could if you could enlighten about this, because today we really wanted to bring the difference and clarity of coaching and mentoring and training. So we got on with the question, Dr. Peter Chee.
Yeah, so I'll just give you a quick answer. I know it's kind of late because for me it's already past midnight. It's already bedtime. I need to prepare for my next coaching. I have a Sunrise Eureka Beach coaching tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So I'll be going to bed really soon. But no worries. Let me give you a quick answer. I think a quick and short answer is good for everyone. So coaching is about unleashing. Mentoring is about giving. So you want to give a person a fish, or you want to teach the person to learn how to get the fish by themselves. So coaching is they got to learn how to find the fish by themselves. Whereas mentoring, you give them the fish. And you may teach them how to fish, but then you don't really unleash their full potential until you coach them. Because mentoring is, you are a subject matter expert. They want to tap on your expertise, your strength, and your success secrets. So you share that with them. They learn from you. That's mentoring. If you unleash their potential, you help them to learn by themselves, learn how to discover and unleash their fullest potential, then you're doing coaching. So that's the essence of the difference. And the other difference is, of course, the way your conversation will be different. In a mentoring conversation, who asks the question? The mentee. Mentee wants to learn. Who talks? Who shares a lot? The mentor. The mentor tells stories, give examples, give advice. But in coaching, it's totally the opposite. In coaching, who asks the questions? The coach asks the questions. Who talks? Who talks more? Who shares more? The coachee. The coachee talks more, shares more. The potential being unleashed as they articulate, they begin to discover. So the conversation in between coaching and mentor is very different, and the objectives are also somewhat different. If you look for someone as a mentor, you want to learn their secrets, their knowledge, their success practices, their experience. If you look someone to coach, you want someone to empower you, to motivate you to unleash your fullest potential. So objectives could also be different. But having said that, if you look into the sports world, it's coaching and mentoring mixed together into one. That's how it's being done in the sports world. In the working world, that could also be done. But then if you look in terms of the world body of coaching, ICF, it's more towards what I have just mentioned. So it again depends on what your perspective is about coaching. But this is what's being practiced in the world out there.
Thank you, Dr. Peter. I think we got so many questions. What we could do, I think the distinguished panel can answer them later on, because if we attempt to answer all of this, it will take another 2 hours that we cannot afford. So we will leave it as it is, as a question to be answered, definitely, because some of the question actually already pointed towards all of you. Shabbir Bhai, you have got some question. Ranjan has some question. Kazi Bhai has got 2. So we'll leave it, and I'm sure they will answer to this, and also Ineke will also respond to them as well. So Dr. Peter, so before we close, so what message, what declaration, what things you want to put? I know that this is so late. It's been 30 minutes overrun, but I hope it is for a purposeful reason, to create a purposeful coaching culture for Bangladesh, and to bring 6 of you is not a matter of joke, right? It takes a lot of effort. So I hope you would excuse the overrunning 30 minutes. So now it's over to you, the way you want to conclude the session and the way forward. Dr. Peter.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The way forward will be essentially continue learning, continue to seek out coaches, and continue to attend webinars like this, and keep the process of learning alive, and put into commitment what you have learned today. Put down at least 2 to 3 key action steps to apply what you have learned today from all of the wonderful sharing and experts here today, and then continue to stay in touch. And for me, my final word for all of you would be, coaching is from the heart. It's done with love, and love is what matters most, because when you are born into this world, you are born because people love you. You're born into the arms of your parents and your family, people who love you. As you grow up through your life, you learn how to receive lovingly, how to give lovingly, how to forgive lovingly, and how to love yourself and do what you love and love what you do. When you come to the end of your journey in this world, you will be leaving this world being surrounded by all of the people that you love. So love is what matters most. The entire journey is all about love. So coaching is from the heart. Coaching is loving, uplifting, and adding value and making a difference in people's lives. So if you become a great coach, you will find that it is the most fulfilling and rewarding work of a lifetime. And if coaching is your work and it's rewarding and fulfilling, you never have to work a day in your life. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So before we conclude, if you want to say quick comments, every one of you, I mean, quick comments about today's program and also the going forward. So beginning from, just beside Dr. Peter Chee, I see Shabir Ali Bhai. So, and then after that, I see Ranjan De Silva. So in that circle, so if we can just closing remarks, Shabir Bhai.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was indeed a great session, and we had lot of learning. The takeout is, let us focus on building the culture of coaching. It is very much needed for a country like Bangladesh, for organizations like local organizations mainly. I would say that we should take this oath of building a culture of coaching in every organization. That will solve our issues. That's all from my end. Thank you very much.
Culture of coaching. Thank you so much, Shabir Bhai, for your great insight. And yes, culture of coaching is so much essential. Ranjan De Silva, next to Shabir Ali Bhai.
Yeah, a short comment. For me, a good leader is a good human being. And a good human being is a human being who is driven by a higher purpose. And coaching is one of the most important methods of creating that good, purposeful leader. So please find your values, find your purpose, use techniques like coaching and of course Ineka's jump method. I really love that method. Use those and find a way of coaching. And of course, I am really admiring Peter's, champagne coaching stuck in my ear, so I must try that as well. So, all of us, the entire panel, and Shabir has so much corporate experience. You can learn from everyone. So please learn from everyone. Learn any technique which works for you. Based on that, be a good leader, which is being just a good human being. It's not rocket science. So good luck to all of you.
Creating purposeful leader, Ineke Hookmans.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kamrul and team, because there's a team behind this, and I really want to applaud them. These guys are doing such a good job. So, guys, I'm so proud of you all. So we cannot see you, but you're there. So you did it. And I think for me to conclude this session, first of all, I think we look beautiful on the screen all together with 6 of us. And I'm really honored. Here you see, if we all jump, we will move the world. But today I wanted to say, if we all connect, we will move the world. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much for being here and for giving us your time. So next to Ineke Hookmans is none other than the founder and president of Bold, our strategy partner for today's session.
Well,
definitely.
In my work experience, starting in Bangladesh, but then in Afghanistan, and even part of Malaysia, the Labuan Island, when I worked with offshore banking executives, I did my own research and found that average 60% of the potential is reached without much investment of coaching. And I learned from you, it can go up to 88%. So let's do more coaching and let's start a big movement and campaign in Bangladesh. That would be my parting thought. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes, let's create a big movement, and that's why together here with ITD World and Coach Kamrul Hasan Network, I think all of you know that all of us here, we actually supporting each other to go. So, and there is no individual growth, as Ineke said, behind this today's session, a teamwork. We are just in front, the lovely work, so the graphics, the design, the technology, the sound, voice, my back screen, and everything is actually a composition of a good teamwork. And that also being, because of the coaching culture, Ranjan Ineke is here, Shabir Bhai is here. Peter Chee, thank you so much. We're looking forward to create a purposeful journey together. And audience, how can I thank you all? Thank you so much for being so supportive and questions and comments. We will come back to you definitely with our responses. And tonight it's been wonderful with all of you. Take care and have a good night. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you so much, Kaji Bhai, Hinake, Ranjan De Silva, and Sabir Bhai. May God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Please
you.
excuse
Bye.
us for overrunning. For 40 minutes we overrun.
No, don't worry, because it was needed.
Fantastic.
Thank
I
you.
might
Thank you.
stay on in the studio, so yeah.
We can do it again, right?
Right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, right.
See you soon.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.